greatness of the Raiders. Some may scoff, but what other pro sports team is instantly identified with a song like Equality? Or was his greatest accomplishment providing the NFL with a much-needed villain?
If there's anything we've ever done that I'm particularly proud of, I would have to say that the perpetuation of the greatness of the Raiders, to take a professional football team and give it a distinct characteristic that's different from all others.
The thing that disturbed me most of all was the bad faith and fair dealing. For 3 years, I waited to hear Commissioner Rozelle finally tell us the reason that he wanted to split up this territory amongst the owners. They wanted it for themselves.
Commitment to excellence. There's a commitment to excellence. The greatest players. We could get the greatest coaches. The great games we've played in. The flame that would burn brightest here is the will to win. Is the will to win. Is the will to win.
Your commitment to excellence and your will to win will endure forever. You were magnificent.
The effort was outstanding. How about those Raiders, man?
Look, happy holidays, Raider Nation nationwide. Let's go. Get some.
Raiders!
Yo, what's going on, Raider Nation? Hopefully everybody's doing good. Drinking a little bit of coffee here. I want to talk about some Luke Getsy. Hopefully you guys like my thumbnail. It was inspired by the movie The Great Gatsby. So I figured since we hired Luke Getsy, we'd have The Great Getsy as our thumbnail. So hopefully you guys like that. Hit the like, subscribe, appreciate it. Got some people in the chat want to say what up to everybody. Southside, what up, big dog? He said, really? Is this the best they could do? Shake my head. I know, bro. We're going to talk about it. And, this is one I want other people's opinions on too, guys. I've been, pretty open in a lot of different scenarios. Kind of have an idea how most people are thinking, but would love to, if you guys want to pull up in here for a few minutes, I'll definitely drop the link for StreamYard in there. If you guys don't want to show your face, you can, mute your camera. But yeah, guys, I don't know. There's a few different things I've been thinking about on this since last night. I was really puzzled when it happened. I'm like, dude, what is going on? And last year I was pretty fired up, but this year I'm going to try to be a little more, positive, optimistic, stuff like that. So, and I think about it from a standpoint, from that perspective, there's some things I definitely don't like about it, but then there's some stuff that, I think could be good. So I'm going to try to, my best to evaluate kind of all scenarios. Otis, what up? I think Otis might have joined us. This is device not connected. We'll see if he gets up and running, but yeah, man, let's bring Otis up. This is one of my friends, one of my homies, one of the OGs up in the Raider Nation, been, hanging tough with me for a long time. So I want to bring on my homie Otis, dude. How you doing, brother?
What's going on, man?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm all right. A little disappointed in the last couple of events that have happened with the Raiders team, but it is what it is, and next man up and keep moving.
How's it going up in there in the Bay with all the Niner fans going to the Super Bowl?
I hate those mother flippers. You gotta
Yeah,
remember I'm on live stream, man.
yeah. I know.
You know, I as a kid, I grew up in Oakland in the Bay Area on the East Bay. So by birth, I was destined to hate San Francisco, no matter what. And I hate the Chiefs even more because they're division rivals, right? Like I just,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it's a tough one. It's a tough pill to swallow for us Raider fans this year. You know,
Worst
case scenarios. They're both playing in our stadium. Both teams I hate. So
yeah, it was my biggest fear this offseason, bro. Was mainly the Chiefs. I mentioned Chiefs Niners a couple times, but yeah, man, it was my biggest fear this offseason. But yeah, man, let's get into it. So kind of get things set up here. I know you joined kind of, at the last minute, kind of asked some people if they wanted to hop in. So I appreciate you doing that. Want to kind of go over some of the history of Luke Getsy. Before we do that, right off the bat, here's the first thing I'm going to say, guys. Like, so I personally, and I'm not saying like everybody has to agree with me, right? But like I personally want Hugh Jackson back on the staff. Not saying as an offensive coordinator, but some way to help this offense, because I do think he does have a great offensive mind, and I think he's a Raider. That's, I'm kind of standing firm on that perspective. And so if I think about it from that perspective, if the Raiders say we're to hire Hugh Jackson as a senior offensive assistant, I just feel like there's not going to be too many head coaches that are going to want someone above them, like a Hugh Jackson, to almost have their thumb, over that offensive coordinator. So if the goal is to bring on Hugh Jackson and then an offensive coordinator that can work with him, it's going to be hard to find offensive coordinators out there that's willing to kind of take that role, unless it's maybe somebody not as well known or as big a name, or somebody that's not proven. You almost need somebody that's, under the radar or whatnot, or maybe struggled or something. And Hugh Jackson did say, that he would like sweep our floors, to help the Raiders win a championship. But the other thing I think is important is Hugh Jackson straight up said, he's like, look, I'm on the tail end of my career, because I think this part is important about Hugh Jackson. I'm on the tail end of my career, and, I don't need to be the guy, but, I would like to help somebody grow and develop, essentially. Think about it, guys. I mean, even though some people may not agree with me on the Hugh Jackson thing, which is fine, if your coach has been coaching a long time and you're like getting towards retirement and towards the tail end of not just your career, but possibly life, not that I want to put that on anybody, but like, you have all this knowledge and you're going to want to share it with somebody. And that's how I kind of feel about Hugh Jackson coming on board, is that, I would love to bring him on and then have an offensive coordinator that's willing to be like a sponge and absorb some of the knowledge that Hugh Jackson has to offer. And, so when I look at it like that, I'm going to try not to overreact. I don't love it at the same time, but the caveat is if they bring in Hugh Jackson, then I'm cool with it. If they don't bring in Hugh Jackson, then yeah, I'm going to be upset. But kind of want to hear your take on that and just your initial thoughts before we kind of go over the down of history with Getsy, man.
Well, when Hugh was taking over for us some years ago there, the players, they actually wanted to play for him. Just like Masasi there, they wanted to play for him.
Right.
And you want coaching staff or staff just in general that the players get along with and get around, like how Devontae Adams said he'd run through a wall for Antonio Pierce. Like, you want coaches like that. You need people like that. It's not just X's and O's. You can be a guru at X's and O's, right? I mean, Belichick, for instance, he's done it for years, but the problem is he's always had Brady. And then without Brady, he still had the knowledge, but he didn't have the players that wanted to play for him. So what did that turn into?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so you can have best coach, best GM, but if you don't have the players that are willing to play for you and they're disconnected from the coach, or vice versa, you know what I mean? You've touched on it before in your previous streams. If you have a leader that's a shit leader, excuse the language, nobody wants to follow that leader because, it's down the wrong path.
Yeah.
And, NFL is week to week. 1 week, everything goes great. The next week, and winning solves a lot of miscues and missteps and mistakes that are people making. It solves that. It basically throws a cover over it. So, like, if you look at Kansas City, for instance, when we played them Christmas Day, and you look at the tape, how the players watch the tapes, Jack Jones specifically, but they contained Mahomes so much that he couldn't get out and run outside the pocket like he normally does. He couldn't do a lot of things that he normally does against other teams. And I was thinking to myself, if the other teams are watching how we played against them, they probably can contain him because everybody was doing their job, right? So they weren't falling for the magic show, as they would say, with him. But, we beat them in Kansas City. And granted, that was a great Christmas gift. And I wish they would have not made it to the playoffs, especially where they're at now. Bastards. Anyway, but yeah, you want, getting off topic there, but you want guys that will have a good leader, regardless of which position it is.
Yeah.
If you're buying into Antonio Pierce's system and what he believes in about being a Raider and how it should be, you want people like that. You don't want people that are nonchalant and be like, we'll get him next week. Nah.
Right. Yeah.
See, you know what I mean? Like, there's got to be some type of discipline. There's got to be, it's a balancing act. It's not just one way or the other.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think that when we look at this, like, we want guys that's like X's and O's, but I almost feel like you just hit the nail on the head. And that's kind of what I've been thinking all this offseason is just get guys that fit the Raider way and that want to be Raiders. And I think that should be like first on the list when we're trying to look at all these coaches, which is one of the reasons why I want Hugh Jackson personally. But like, yeah, man, if he fits, if I don't know, I did see something where it was, I don't know if it's true. So there's a lot of rumors in this time of year and all that, but someone had said something where this was a Tom Telesco hire and he pulled the trigger or something, overshadowed AP. I don't know, guys. I mean, that's speculation. Everybody says they have inside sources and their source is Twitter, so like it's kind of
right.
It's kind of a joke, but one quick thing I did want to say to everybody in the chat, last year I was pretty fired up, I'm passionate, that's why I'm hardcore Raider. I'm a hardcore Raider fan, not saying I'm the best Raider fan, but pretty fired up at the previous coach. And I know I got into it with some people. I'm gonna try my best to maybe be a little more, collective, but I'm always going to be passionate about the Raiders. But, shout out to Cashflow Raider. He had said something that I didn't see his comments or if I missed anybody else. And I did block quite a bit of people last year, guys. I did, because I was pretty fired up and I just didn't want to deal with it. So here's what I'm going to say. Like I could have done a better job, podcasting or YouTubing or whatever. But I'm going to go back through blocked and I'm going to unblock everybody after this video. I didn't have a chance to do it this morning. But so anybody that's been blocked, I'll unblock you. Everybody deserves a second chance or whatever. Start with a clean slate. And then, if people start clowning, then, we'll go from there if we have to revisit it again. But, yeah, I want to give a quick shout out to the chat and then we'll get into some of the history here. But, Thrash, what up, big dog? Hopefully you're doing good. Appreciate you tuning in. Already said what up to Rebel Raider, but hopefully you're doing good as well. And then Big Hack, what's up with you, bro? Hopefully you're doing good. But yeah, man, look, last year the coach I couldn't budge on that were my stance, but this year I'm very open-minded for a lot of different views. You know what I mean? Because I ain't got it figured out. I do want to kind of explore some different possibilities with this coaching hire, and also anybody that wants to join, would love to hear your guys' input of the direction you think is best for the team. So but like. Anybody that joins, just keep in mind, like my main thing is this, guys, right? I called it a three-headed monster, which is your offensive coordinator, scheme, and quarterback. So that's like my focus. If Getsy, it looks like it is, but it's not ink to paper yet, right? We just seen Cliff Kingsbury was supposed to be, and then it was, tossed out of the realm. And probably Cliff Kingsbury probably wanted to go to the Commanders to have a higher draft pick and have maybe a shot for like a Caleb Williams. I personally don't think the Raiders, and this we'll get into this later, but I don't think the Raiders are going to be able to move up to the top 3. I think between the Bears, unless the Bears keep Justin Fields, but I don't think they're going to. I think they'd be silly and stupid for doing that. But the Bears, the Commanders, and then the Patriots all need quarterbacks, and I think it's going to be really tough for any team, not just the Raiders, to move up to the top 3. Nothing's impossible, but so anyway, so. I look at it like that, and yeah, Cliff Kingsbury probably wanted a better chance to get his guy Caleb Williams, and the Commanders have being second overall, have a much better chance than he would with the Raiders. So like, even Cliff Kingsbury, like I ain't exactly mad at it. He don't want to be here. He can move on to something else. I want guys that want to be Raiders and whatnot. So, I look at it like that. Like, hopefully Getsy fits what Antonio Pierce is looking for. I'm not convinced on that, but all right. So let's get into kind of some of the coaching history with. I'm gonna share this here real quick.
Let's say what else up the chat real quick. Big Heck 831 Rebel Raider Southside. Big Heck's got a good point though, real quick before we get into all that. And he says having Hugh Jackson, just in case offense goes south, Hugh Jackson can step in. And, that's a pretty good point. It's pretty solid.
That is, yeah.
If Getsy or whoever gets inked for the OC job doesn't work out, or it's not going according to plan how AP wants it, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, like you were saying, and I was thinking about that when Kingsbury walked out. People are saying it was a contract issue and a money issue, but I think a lot of it had to do, he wanted to stay with who's going to get drafted, and he wanted his guy, Caleb, from USC, but the Raiders would have to give up way too much to drop from 13th to get up to go pick up Caleb. They would basically have to go to the number 1 pick to make sure they got him.
There's another. He said another good one, but yeah, I like that we have a backup plan with Hugh Jackson if the other guy ain't working out. So Big Heck also said, hashtag Raider. I get it, bro. The Raiders are our passion, and it hurts when things don't go our way. But at the same time, we have to be transparent. And at the end of the day, it's sports. Yeah. And see, like guys, I like hockey. I've grown to like hockey a little bit, but I don't like baseball. I don't like basketball. Like football is it for me, guys. Like this is my like therapy or relief, and like football and the Raiders is it, like, so for me, there's not too many passions I have outside of like football and Raiders. So, like, yeah, like I wear my heart on my sleeve, and a lot of us do, where, we all, at the end of the day, we all like just want this team to do good and be great. And we've all been through the shit storm for over 20 years, so, definitely. And then 813 Raiders, shout out to you. He said, I wonder what, if any, role Champ played in this hiring. Perhaps Champ had recommended based on inside knowledge of things behind the scenes in Chicago. I'm sure they at least got his opinion. And you know what? That's a good point. I mean, I didn't honestly. I'll be like real with you because I've been trying to think more of the scheme and quarterback scenarios. But yeah, Champ Kelly coming from Chicago, he probably knew him and probably had some insight. So you know what? Like that's actually a really good point. I didn't think about that. So any thoughts on that, Otis?
Yeah, I mean, I think with Chicago, just in general, it's been kind of like what the Browns used to be for the longest time, right? Like it doesn't matter who they get, what's going on. If you got too many chefs in the kitchen, shit's not going to go right, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you got an offensive coordinator, let him cook, let him do his thing. If he fails, he fails. If he does good, he does good. But if you have somebody micromanaging him, and I get that's the head coach's position, but at the same time, if he's constantly doing it, he's not giving him the opportunity to grow as a coach. Same thing with your players, right? If you don't let them cook, then look what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it's play calling. There's a number of factors. It's play calling, it's practice. It's not just one thing.
Yeah.
But if he has inside knowledge of them, I mean, look at Jack Jones came over, right? Nobody wanted him. He passed through waivers or whatever it was. We picked him up, and he turned out to be a really good pickup. Same thing with the Spillane, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, and he fits the Raider way as well. You know what I mean? So, like, we were all hoping that Marcus Peters was going to fit, but that did not work out good at all. So that was, I know some people were pounding the drum for, Marcus Peters, but that was, I was kind of questionable on that the whole time. But even though the dude's from the Oakland or whatever in Cali, like he just, yeah.
He's a lazy football player. He went to the Raiders, wanted to get paid. And I watched plenty of games where he just let tackles slide by, like try to fingertip tackle him,
Mm-hmm.
And me, that just shows that he doesn't want to be there. He just wants a paycheck.
Yeah, a lot of guys are in that realm. So yeah. And then you guys, even if you disagree with me, like if you're upset about this, like, dude, you can come on here, give your rant and say it, dude. I ain't gonna chastise nobody, man. You know what I mean? Like the Patriot way is gone, so like I ain't tripping, dude. If someone's like upset and you guys want to come on here and kind of give your take, dude, Click on the link. Anybody can have an opinion on this, and I'll be cool about it, dude. As long as we don't attack each other personally, which sometimes I do, but I try not to. Then it's all good, dude. Everybody's opinion is welcome. So, and Big Heck said, our best move to move up to number 4. So New England has the 3rd pick, not number 4, but I hear you, bro. I know what you're trying to say. And they go top 3. One of those 3 QBs might be available at 4. So yeah, essentially you're thinking Marvin Harrison Jr. might be available. It's possible. It's possible somebody could pull the trigger on him or maybe move up. But I almost feel like I think it's like the Patriots are number 3, and then I think the Cardinals are number 4. So like if I was the Cardinals, I don't, if say Marvin Harrison Jr. was available, I don't know if I'd trade out of that spot. I would go probably get Marvin Harrison Jr., with Kyler Murray. Even though I'm not a Kyler Murray fan, if I'm that coaching staff or GM, I think that'd be a good thing. Now, if say the Patriots are willing to trade out of their 3 spot, then, I could see like maybe another team that just wants a super stud wide receiver like Marvin Harrison Jr. maybe trading up, and the Patriots maybe trading back, I'm not exactly sure what the Patriots scheme is and who they're want. I don't know. Like if Jaden Daniels say went number 3, I don't know if the Patriots would want to, do that. So real quick, guys, I got one of my homies. If you guys don't know, this is my brother from another mother, but we both have the same blood, silver and black. Started my YouTube career, even though I don't make nothing off of this, but I started out with this guy, and he is the one, the only, the guy I consider a great friend. Raider Ben, dude, what up?
What up?
Why is your screen supposed to be split like that?
Yeah, I have 2 cameras.
Oh, okay, cool. Right on.
Yeah.
How you doing this afternoon, bro?
I just woke up, man. Time to get some wake and bake, man.
Cool.
Listening to you guys talk about how the Raiders always fuck shit up, man. You know what I'm saying? Always fucking shit up. The Raiders are gonna Raider. If they say what the Raider way is, the Raider way is finding a way to fuck shit up, dog. That's the Raider
I
way,
know,
dog.
bro. I know.
Bringing in some fucking dude, his best fucking passing offense was ranked 27th in the league. Congratulations, everybody. We got a bum ass offensive coordinator. Great. Something to be very fucking happy for next year. I'm excited. I can't wait to see this 27th ranked passing offense, dog, with fucking Aiden O'Connell as a starting quarterback. It's gonna be a great fucking year.
A lot of questions.
Being sarcastic.
No, it's cool, man. I feel you. Like because I was live with you last night when the shit dropped, and I was trying to figure out if it was real. And then I'm trying to figure out why the fuck they did it. And like I just had more questions than answers. Normally I'd come up with at least a few answers. Kind of slept on it, woke up, and I was like kind of felt the same way like you. And so yeah, to be honest, I am disappointed, but at the same time, just like if we have Hugh Jackson, then I'm not tripping as bad. If we don't have Hugh Jackson part of the mix, then like yeah, I'm definitely fucking tripping, bro. So but
I don't know. I just think this was, like I said before, man, this was the biggest piece that had to fall in place for the Raiders if we wanted to be successful in year 1 of Antonio Pierce. If we didn't hit on the offensive coordinator, dude, we're going to be going through a rebuild, dog. And it looks like we did not hit on our offensive coordinator. It looks like we don't have a quarterback. We don't know what the identity of this team on offense is going to be next year. We're just like Raiders 7-5-2-8. And I don't agree with a lot of the shit that he says because he's usually negative, but he said circus. That's exactly what we're going to be next year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and not everybody.
This is how you counter getting Harbaugh. This is how you counter the Chargers getting Harbaugh. Mark Davis. This is how you counter it, dog. Get the fuck out of here. Mark Davis fucks it up, shits the bed again. Not surprised.
Hey, do you know how to real quick here? I hate to do this live, but because you might know how to do it. Do you know how I go in and change like people I may have blocked in the past? Because not everybody like Raiders.
Yeah, you got to go on. You got to go to your studio. You got to go to YouTube.com and then you click on your settings on your account. And you go to studio. And then when you're in your studio, you'll see a little settings cogwheel in the bottom left-hand corner. And you go to settings and then you go down to community. And then everybody you block is going to be in your community. Here, watch. I'll show you. I'll go to mine right now and you can share the screen. I'll show you exactly how to do it.
All right. So you say go to studio, go to settings. Sorry, guys. I just want to take care of this because I'm not.
Are you in your studio right now?
Yeah.
So you see in the bottom left-hand corner, you see the cogwheel. It should be on the bottom left side of YouTube Studio. Should see a cogwheel.
Is it under settings though, or?
No, it's just going to be a cogwheel. You're not going to see. That is your settings. That's how you get into your settings is the cogwheel. Here, watch. I'm going to share my screen. You just you add it to your show, and I'll show you where it's at. I'm gonna share my screen right now. All right, so
sorry
here,
guys,
go ahead and add it.
Blocked that I want to see what their comments are because I want
So
to try
you see this cogwheel down here?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Your screen. So click that cogwheel.
All right.
And then you'll go right here where it says community.
Oh, okay.
And then click community, and then you scroll down. You'll have your managing moderators, your standard moderators, and you'll have hidden users. Hidden users are the people that you blocked from your channel.
I don't know, bro. The only one I have blocked, it looks like, is Big Country. I don't see.
I don't think Cash Lord last night was saying that you blocked him. I think he said what he was saying was you were ignoring him because you were Hollywood.
Yeah, I know, and I don't. I mean, yeah. What I mean,
if they're not in there, they're not blocked.
Well, someone said, "What's up, Circus?" But I didn't see Circus Raiders comment in here, bro. Because Circus is like someone I've always been cool with.
Then you may have blocked him on your Google side. So if you did that, you got to go to google.com. You got to go to your account settings in google.com and then go to your blocked users on google.com.
I think the only time I've blocked people have been on through YouTube though. But all right, I don't know, bro. I'll have to. I don't want to waste time doing this. I appreciate it, but I'll have to figure this out on another time. But yeah, if Circus is in there, shot to you, bro. I don't know why your comments aren't popping up, but
I don't see him neither. So.
Raider Paul, salute. So Al's Ghost, salute, man. I did put the link in the chat. Al's Ghost, I know sometimes you'll join if you want to kind of come in here. I don't know how much time you guys have. Originally, I wasn't going to go live too long, but I do want to kind of get some other opinions on here about the OC. So kind of moving up next, I just want to kind of go over a little bit of the history of this, coach and his background, because I feel like if maybe we can dive a little bit into like, his past coaching and with what head coaches he was part of, then that might help us determine kind of his scheme. Because right now I don't even know his scheme. Like, I know some people are thinking it means we'll get Justin Fields, but I'm not even, 100% convinced on that or whatever. So let's look at it here real quick. So the last 2 years, the offensive coordinator, it looks like we're going to hire Luke Getsy, was part of the Chicago Bears as their offensive coordinator. We all know there's probably some stuff within there and some lackluster offense. And, he did run the ball a lot, but, with him and Justin Fields. And then the main thing I just want to look at is his time with the Packers. So from 2014 to 2021, he was part of the Packers. So, and then we'll look at the Packers coaching tree to see kind of maybe where he's grown and developed. So obviously during that time with the Packers, he was there with the Aaron Rodgers era, as well as part of, Davante Adams, right here being the wide receivers coach and whatnot. So, when I started trying to think about like why the Raiders would make this decision and the Packers, I'm like, look, what coaches has he been a part of as far as the Packers go? Because I personally think like looking at the Packers is probably a little bit more tell sign what his philosophies are or schemes as opposed to just the Bears. So, right here, you have Mike McCarthy, 2006 to 2018, and then Matt LaFleur, 2019 to 2023. I know he was probably there. Let me go back to his. So 2019. Oops, I clicked that. Sorry. So 2019. So he was with Matt LaFleur for like probably 2 years, I guess. Looking at it from that standpoint. So what I'm going to say is if we're trying to dig to see what this guy's scheme and philosophy is, we probably would have to look mostly at Mike McCarthy and Matt LaFleur, and maybe he has some different, thoughts as far as like, his offensive scheme. But right now, like, I really don't know this dude's offensive scheme. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Any thoughts on that, Raider Ben, as far as his time with Mike McCarthy, as well as Matt LaFleur, and then obviously with the Bears, kind of, if we're deep diving into some of his history and coaching philosophies and scheme. Raider Ben, I think you're muted, bro.
Oh, my bad. Even if he was over there with Green Bay, right? Like, can we really put a lot of stock into what he did, knowing that he played with he coached one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he was over there with some bum ass no name quarterback and they had a good offense or something. Dude was over there with Aaron fucking Rodgers. You know what I mean? So, like I said, man, I don't really have too much to say about the dude except the fact that the Raiders fucked it up. I hope I'm wrong. I would have rather took in fucking Frank Reich. I'd have rather fucking took fucking dude Eric Bieniemy. I'd have rather fucking took a handful of guys over this dude, bro, just because mainly Never heard of this guy in my motherfucking life, dog, until yesterday. Never heard of him. And when you usually have coaches and coordinators you never heard of, dog, 9 times out of the shit, the 10, the shit never pans out, bro. And I don't know if maybe during his time in Green Bay, maybe Earl Bennett had some nice things to say to him because he did take over as for Earl Bennett once Earl Bennett left Green Bay to be their wide receiver coach. But I don't know, dog. Like I'm not a fan of it, dude. It's another stain. It's just another stain on the organization, bro, in my opinion, until somebody can come out with some real deal like numbers on what this dude's capable of doing, dog. I don't believe in this dude, bro. We're only going to go as far as whatever quarterback we can get us. And I mean, at this point, it's almost like we just brought Bo Hardegree back. That's about the same, about as much excitement as I have, dog. It's about Bo Hardegree coming back with this cocksucker. So
that's how I feel about the same situation with this guy right here. To me, it's almost like a lateral move. When based on what Hardegree did, which was a run-heavy offense, and that's the same thing this guy's about. There's not like an air raid offense that I've looked into his history. And yeah, he had Justin Fields, but at the same time, it's different philosophy, different teams. And the philosophy changes when you change teams, right? So he's going to have to learn to do what.
Cut off, bud. Might cut off. I mean, let's just be real though, dog. Who's excited for this motherfucker, dog? I'm not. I'm not. Yeah. I'm not excited for this dude at all. Like I was like, fuck, at least if the Raiders bring in somebody, at least make it somebody that we can be excited for. You know what I'm saying? That has a track record of success. Yeah, can this dude have a somewhat decent running game? Yeah, dog, cool. But what the fuck's that gonna do for our quarterback, bro? Like, I already know we're gonna be able to run the ball good. You know what I mean? But we can't throw the ball, don't mean shit like last year.
Word, yeah.
We interviewed Chip Kelly. How would you guys have thought about that if he came in?
I'd have took that goddamn motherfucker over this dude. I don't even like Chip Kelly, bro. I bet you he's a better offensive coordinator than this cocksucker.
To be honest with you, I never even heard of this guy until somebody texted me about it. They're like, hey, by the way, since Kingsbury decided he wanted to bail out, they're going to sign this guy. I was like, who? And like you said, I've never heard of him. And 9 times out of 10, like you said, when you don't hear of anybody making noise somewhere and then you sign him as a head coach or some type of coordinator, you're like, well, what history does he have that, qualifies him for this, or what has he done that, And, we've done it in the past with other guys and so have other teams.
Now, you're right, Paul. I did call you crazy about Chip Kelly because if I was going to choose Chip Kelly, the only way I'm picking Chip Kelly is it'd have to be over a signing like this because I didn't want Chip Kelly back neither, bro. I mean, I didn't want Chip Kelly neither, but I would have took him over this dude. At least he has a track record of having somewhat of a competent passing offense, bro.
Yeah. Raider 10. Raider 10, what up, big dog? Real quick, Thrash did something here. He said go to chat settings. Looks like stereo mixer set chat to all not top messages. I don't know what that means. Do you know what that means?
So if you're on the YouTube side, when you're looking at your chat on the YouTube side, you'll see 3 little lines. If you click the 3 lines at the top of your chat, you select it from live message or top messages to live messages. It'll change your chat up.
So what one should it be on then? I guess is where
it should be on all messages.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think Kubiak's going somewhere else. I thought he was going to the Saints, if I'm not mistaken.
I heard he was going to the fucking Commanders.
Kubiak?
Yeah, I heard he's going to the Commanders and Kubiak is going to the fucking Saints.
Yeah, that's what I was talking
Oh, my bad. Yeah, Kubiak. Yeah, he's going to the Saints. That's who I want.
Yeah.
That was my number 1 dude. But whatever.
Yeah, we should go after him, or at least try to offer him something.
That dude can engineer motherfucking an offense out of anything, dude. I seen that dude the last 4 years in San Francisco, dog. That motherfuckers always have a good offense, regardless of who the quarterback is, the running back, who their wide receivers are. They always play well, dude. And that's a great coach, dude. He knows how to put his players in position to succeed, dog. And that's why we need fucking a good offensive coordinator that can put our players in positions to succeed. Because I feel like we got good talent on the offensive side of the ball. We just need a coach that knows how to utilize it.
I agree. That scheme part, man, that 3-headed monster. J-Dog 209, shout out to you, man. Said he was ranked 2nd in rushing yards of the Bears, and they got a new running back coach. They about to get running the ball. And I kind of heard some people say that. I also heard some Bears fans that said be ready for a ton of bubble screens and with his home with the Bears. But You know, a lot of people were also saying like he couldn't scheme for a Justin Fields. I think honestly with the Justin Fields, I think it's gonna be hard for any like a lot of offensive coordinators to fit Justin Fields' skill set. But that's just kind of where I'm at on it. But yeah, there's a lot of Bear fans and other people on Twitter that were like, "Man, I feel sorry for the Raiders." Like,
I don't know. I think either three of us could probably be a better offensive coordinator than who we got.
Yeah. Then Thrash said he comes with the Joe Moorhead scheme. I have no idea who that is, to be honest with you guys. Do you guys know who Joe Moorhead is?
Another dude I have no idea who the fuck it is. Just keep taking us down that path further and further of a tree of motherfuckers I've never heard of, dog.
You know,
instead of going down the Shanahan McVay tree, we go down the Moorhead tree. Who the fuck is that?
You know when you go to the woods, the road in the woods, and one goes downhill, one goes uphill, you decide to take the one downhill. That's where we're headed right now.
Yep. All me.
But you know, at the end of the day, I mean, we could sit here and talk and everything else, and then maybe he surprises us, maybe he doesn't. I don't have any high expectations for him just based off his past. Regardless of what he did in Green Bay, like you said before, he is playing with Aaron Rodgers. Yep. And that guy's skill set is elite compared to most, right? I mean, I'm just looking at the facts here. He's a pretty elite quarterback. You know, and I get it. It's, you know, if we're trading for a veteran quarterback somewhere or picking up one from free agency.
Yeah. Shout out to Southside. He said, I thought we were waiting for Kubiak, and then this happens. Yeah, bro. That's Raider Ben was really, you know, kind of big on Kubiak, and I thought it'd be a good fit too. But I heard he might be going to the Saints as the rumor or whatnot. But I thought Kubiak would be a good fit. But yeah, that was kind of.
Yeah, Kubiak was my dude. I'm actually kind of surprised though that like not only that he's leaving to take an offensive coordinator job elsewhere. You know what I mean? Because I think if he wants to have the most success in his career, he should just stay under Shanahan. Like, why would you leave and then go to the unknown? You know what I mean? Like, I could see Kubiak maybe try to dip for a better role or maybe a head coaching job, but it's kind of weird that he's going to dip out to go be a fucking offensive coordinator somewhere else. That means he must be butting heads with Shanahan or something, dog, because usually offensive coordinators don't leave an offensive coordinator role and then go be an offensive coordinator role somewhere else. It just really don't happen.
Yeah. Well, Kyle Shanahan's probably, I would guess at least, you know, he's probably like how Gruden was, you know, where, yeah, you have another offensive coordinator, but essentially you're calling the plays. So Mike Shanahan's probably got his thumb on that thing pretty good. So if Kubiak is going to go somewhere, he probably wants to go somewhere where he can implement like his philosophies and what he wants to do, you know, kind of thing. Shout out to Gord Peterson, dude. Hopefully you're doing good, bro.
What up, Gord?
Yeah, and that's usually when you leave as a defensive coordinator or offensive coordinator, you're upgrading your position to head coach. 8 times out of 10. The other 2 times, something like this, where you're starting to heads with the coach, the staff, whatnot, and you just want out of there, but you still want the same position. And maybe he thinks it's room for him to grow over there. Like you said, his philosophy, he can implement it, he can change things, he can, you know, and that brings me back to I don't remember his name, the guy that we got now for offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I can't remember his fucking name neither. What's our offensive coordinator? Luke Getsy?
I guess.
The great Getsy. I called him the Great Gatsby because you know that movie, The Great Gatsby. So I did I did the movie cover with The Great Gatsby, and then I put the face of Luke Getsy on it, and I said The Great Getsy because I was just like,
yeah.
I mean, maybe a lot of us could be overreacting right now. I hope I'm wrong, Doug. I haven't really been up on this year, bro. Like, I love Antonio Pierce. I'm still gonna hold my fucking wheels. I don't think Antonio Pierce was the right guy for the job, but whatever.
Oh shit!
The Raiders needed a big time head coach, not just some fucking raw dude, bro.
Yeah, my homie, our homie. Sorry, Raider Dave. Because I told him we were going live. He might come on with us. I don't know how long you have, but that'd be cool if he can join us.
Okay, for sure.
So. Yeah, dude. Hell yeah, that'd be cool.
And that's no offense to people who like Antonio Pierce. I like Antonio Pierce too. I just feel like I think I'd rather have a guy with more of a resume, dude. That's all.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, you know, honestly, it is. I mean, but if we have Marvin, not to go against you, it's like I just feel like if we have Marvin Lewis, you know, kind of, you know, helping Antonio Pierce as like, you know, a head coach, and then if we do bring in a veteran like, you know, Hugh Jackson, like Raider Tim was saying, to help. Getsy, then, you know, like I feel like at least we're having, you know, some guys with a lot of skills that can help this team excel. So, you know, when I look at it from that standpoint, you know, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I just feel like at least there's some other, like, if we didn't have those guys in place, then it's a little bit different. You know what I mean? If at least we have some guys he can like seek out wisdom and knowledge from, I feel like personally to help him excel, you know, to gain the skills he needs. But
well,
I said, man, it's just the biggest turnoff, dude, is that he was associated with the Bears offense, dude, and they were fucking terrible, dog.
Yeah.
They're fucking terrible, bro. Go ahead. What's your name?
Otis.
Otis. Go ahead, Otis. Nice to meet you, gang. I'm Raider Menther.
Nice to meet you, brother. You know, at the end of the day, we don't always know. We don't see behind the scenes. We just see what's in front of us, right? So we don't see how much, like you said, with Kyle Shanahan having a thumb on the offensive coordinator side, you don't know if he's going to say, okay, you can only call a certain amount of plays or these certain types of plays, and that's it. And he's not, you know, he's the offensive coordinator, but he's not giving them room to cook on anything, right? But he's just saying, this is the philosophy that you need to follow. This is what it's going to be. And I don't want to see anything deviate from the plan. And
Joshua Young, shout out to you, bro. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you guys subscribe to me. I'll pull up Raider Ben's channel, put it in the chat here in a minute. I wasn't prepared for him being on here, but I'll definitely put his link in there. If you guys don't know, Raider Ben has his channel. Try to join when I can, when he's going live on Fridays. Definitely going to have to, you know, join him one of these Fridays coming up here to chop it up Raiders. But make sure you guys go subscribe to Raider Ben if you could, please, if you're not already.
Yeah, and I'm like 15 subscribers away from 5K. Once I hit 5K subscribers, I'm giving away a jersey too. So,
oh shit, jersey? Hell yeah,
yeah,
dude.
I'm giving away a jersey at 5K.
And you know what? Let's like, because I did a little giveaway. It wasn't much. I got to send it. Some people want it, and I don't know. But you know, I have certain parameters. You know, people got to be live and stuff. But AG Raider won this little Raider mini helmet.
I know. I seen you promoting that yesterday. It was fire.
I think that's hella cool, you bro, because so many people like I don't exactly mean this the wrong way, but guys have big channels that make a lot of money from this, and they never give back to their followers.
Give out shit. Yeah.
And like you've always done giveaways for people, so I just want to say,
I think at 4,000 we gave away a $250 Raiders gift card. Me, Nate, and Jack Bauer all put together like $250.
Hell yeah, and I respect the hell out of you for fucking doing that, because not everybody, you know, gets back. And I know you ain't like you're making a ton of money doing this. Or
exactly.
Whatever.
I only make a little bit of money doing YouTube, but I always try to give back to my people.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But you always grind and putting out tons of videos. So I just want to say, man, that's fucking hella cool of you. More people in Raider Nation should fucking do that, bro. So that's hella cool.
I appreciate it.
And then,
you know
well, go ahead, Otis. Sorry.
If Gatsby, whatever the hell his name is, gets whatever, if they do hire Hugh Jackson as the offensive assistant, whatever title they're going to give him, it'd be like Marvin Lewis for AP. It'd be like a mentor in a lot of ways to help them out with design scheme things better for the team or their own play calling. That I can see helping.
Well, see, isn't that what Patrick Graham is to AP though, or vice versa? You know, that's a reason why I don't understand like why bring in Marvin Lewis except to have more like head coaching experience around him. Maybe like at times Antonio Pierce had bad clock management. Maybe they're bringing in people to help him with that. Like, because in my opinion, the defense, bro, we had the #1 ranked defense and a lot of the major statistical categories after Antonio Pierce took over. The #1 ranked defense in terms of points allowed, the #1 ranked defense in terms of sacks, the #1 ranked defense in terms of points on defense, points scored by the defense. Like our defense was killer. Like, I mean, I know it's cool to just keep bringing more and more heads over, but like that's why the Marvin Lewis shit was kind of head scratching, and the fact that Marvin Lewis was a loser, bro. That fool had so much talent in Cincinnati, bro, and he never won shit, bro. He won a fucking ring as a defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens, became a head coach, and never did a fucking thing but have a sub 500 record. Like, that's the thing I never understood about Marvin Lewis. Like, why would you bring losers into your organization, dog? That shit is crazy. Sorry, I just went off right there. My bad.
No, you're good. I was trying to get your.
I think it's a good signing because you know you get more guys that have been there and done that around Antonio Pierce. But like Marvin Lewis was a fucking loser, dog. The only time that motherfucker ever did anything, dog, is when he had Andy Dalton in his first few years in his prime, and he had fucking Tyler Eifert and fucking that heel, that fucking Well, Carson, they never really did shit with Carson Palmer and Who's Your Mama and Chad Ochocinco. They never really did shit. They went further in the playoffs with the Red Rifle.
Yeah, true. No, that's a good point. I mean, that was one of the main things with Marvin Lewis that people knocked on him back then when he was the head coach, is that, you know, he could kind of get the Bengals to the playoffs, but they never did shit with it, kind of thing. So,
you know who he reminded? You know who he trained? You guys remember who he fucking coached, dog? Ex-Raiders head coach Paul Gunther, bro. That was his fucking undermined in fucking Cincinnati, bro. Look how bad that cocksucker was for us.
For us, yeah, but Paul Gunther's defense was pretty good on the Bengals. You know,
because of Marvin Lewis.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you're right. But no, I mean, I'm mad at it. I mean, I'm kind of open-minded at this point. But Cowtown Luda, shout out to you, bro. So initially I was pissed, but after going watching some of the Bears games and doing some homework, I think Getsy may fit what we're trying to do in our personnel. And I was kind of thinking that too. I do want to kind of get into possible quarterbacks coming up here, because like that's something I'm thinking about. Kind of where I'm at is like, you know, since he did get fired from the Bears, I don't know that it's a lock that we're going to go try and get Justin Fields and a running style quarterback. I think we're probably going to be looking for more of an Aaron Rodgers style quarterback, just going back with his history with the more of the Packers. That's the Packers, and the style of an Aaron Rodgers is probably more what they're looking for, which if you guys weren't here yesterday, you know, like my thinking was, you know, like us as football fans, I'm not trying to like, you know, clap on anybody or whatever, but I just feel like we need more categories than pocket passer or mobile quarterback. And so, you know, and they don't have to be my exact titles that I came up with, but essentially what I came up with, if you didn't hear, was pocket passer, okay, scrambler quarterback, mobile quarterback, running style quarterback. Because I think we should be breaking up these quarterbacks into different tiers, in my opinion. But so if those were the tiers or the different styles of quarterbacks, you know, Aaron Rodgers is probably between a mobile and a scrambler style quarterback. So, you know, that's kind of, as of now, that's probably who I'm going to be looking for possible, you know, quarterbacks to add to the Raiders as far as scheme goes. Like scrambler / mobile is probably going to be what might fit us best. But any thoughts on that, Raider Ben?
Go ahead, Otis. I've been talking a lot, bro. Go ahead. Talk your shit. What kind of quarterback you think we should get, G?
I would say a quarterback that's a good pocket passer, but uses his legs when needed to. Not like a.
See, what I've said before is I think the Raiders need this is I think a section that you probably left out, the improviser quarterback. The quarterback that his first primary job is to go down there and throw the ball down the field to his you know, number one receiver, you know, and then when the shit breaks down, he doesn't really scramble or nothing, but he just gets outside the pocket, you know what I'm saying? Allows the defense to break down, improvises, and makes a play. Like, that's who we need, bro. Like, we don't need no fucking, because in my opinion, that's what Aaron Rodgers was, bro. Aaron Rodgers was more of an improviser quarterback. He's like, him and Russell Wilson's play style reminded me a lot. He was just better than Russell Wilson. But their number one goal would be look down the field, you know what I'm saying? But they would always break contain. But when they would break contain, their goal would still be to throw the ball down the field. And the way that the passing game is now, the way that teams try to stop the quarterbacks, they try to get these elite pass rushers, man. So if you let those pass rushers come out, you can find a way to get around them. Now you're just sitting over here all by yourself, just bouncing around. Nobody's around. And them defensive backs can't cover forever, bro. You know what I'm saying? If the defensive line ain't getting there in 3 seconds, dude, it's going to be a long day for them DBs. So that's that. We just need somebody. If the pass rush is coming, dude, like, you don't have to run with the ball. Just step over. Like, great. Just have some awareness in the pocket. Like, that's the thing, is that you have pocket passers that don't even have great pocket awareness. Like, if you would consider Aiden O'Connell a pocket passer, dude, and his pocket awareness is kind of last year was kind of dude. Like, maybe he'll get better at it, but there was times where he was holding the ball too goddamn long. He wouldn't step up in the pocket, and that's not a passing quarterback, dog. I mean, that's not a pocket pass quarterback. Dude. That's a trash ass quarterback, dog. If you can't feel pressure, if you can't step away from pressure, bro, you hold the ball for too long. Like, that's a trash quarterback. But we just need an improviser, man. Somebody that can make something out of nothing.
No, I agree. I like that a lot. I mean, then the question is going to be coming up here, like, who's that quarterback going to be, which maybe we can explore a few options coming up here. Cookie Time, shout out to you, bro. He said good hire. I ain't going to hate on you, man, if you feel that way. That's cool. I'm kind of 50-50 on it.
Shit, tell me why. I would like to know why people think it's a good hire. Please talk me off the cliff, dog, because I'm getting ready to jump.
Yeah.
Because I don't see it, but if you could tell me why. I'll read your comment in the chat. Shit.
Hell yeah. Jason Down, shout out to you, bro. He said, sometimes we go into the prom with a band geek. Ain't so bad. I just hope one time at the band camp is worth it. That's pretty funny. So that's good.
Yeah, I know. I read that earlier. That shit was funny.
And then Gord Peter said, this shit's funny too. He said, this guy's name is like they got sand kicked in their faces at the beach.
Yeah, that's tough, boy.
Let's see if we can bring on one of the OGs, going all the way back to me, him, Raider Ben, and Raider Critique. When we first started this shit, we were doing this next level shit before anybody in the nation. That's a, not trying to throw smoke or stroke myself, but we had some great shows, and hopefully his camera pulls up, or hopefully he can join. And that's the one and only Grimy Raider Dave, dude. Grimecast Media, you there, bro? Raider Dave, you there?
Raider Dave in the building.
Raider Dave, if you can hear me, try to get your stuff set up and then let me know, bro. Send me a text. So I'll just put you backstage, but if when you're ready to roll, let me know. And dude, Raider Dave has, I mean, a lot of us have great like opinions in the Raider Nation, but Raider Dave's one of them. I consider a good friend of mine with a great, football mind and whatnot, like Raider Ben and Otis and a lot of you guys that tune in here. So this one's good. Southside said Getsy better get gutsy no matter who that QB will be. Hey, I can't remember the movie, but there was a movie with the guy that had the name Can't Get Right. And I was thinking last night when I was like Getsy, I'm like, it made me think of The Great Gatsby, even though that wasn't a good movie in my opinion. But I was like, I just started thinking Getsy better get right. Getsy get right. Like, you know what I mean? He better get this shit right. Like, you know what I mean? Because otherwise I'm going to be like, a lot of people that are pretty upset or whatever. But
I don't know, man. I just, like I said before, dude, this was a huge hire, dude. This hire right here, like I said, in my opinion, was going to determine if the Raiders were going to be good this year or if we're just going to be, middle of the pack or, kind of just, no identity question mark. That's why I felt like it was going to be. And we got the question mark offense. Are we really going to be better than Bo Hardegree because we've never heard of this dude type shit? So I don't know. I'm just disappointed, man. My excitement level is back down again, bro. It was a huge hire that we needed to be successful this year. And if this dude doesn't hit, bro, we know our defense. We feel like our defense should have a good year next year. But yeah. I mean, our offense, it's like I said, it's the biggest question mark, in terms of scheme, right? But at the same time, I mean, who knows if we rebuild this offensive line, I mean, we could be good next year. I don't know, man. It's just not that. It's a dude. They hired a dude that I can't tell you guys nothing about. I've never heard of the dude, bro, ever. I can't talk about him. It's terrible.
Yeah. No, I agree, bro.
I want to bring up a point Raider Ben made about the quarterbacks. Since we're going to be in need, more than likely, of a veteran quarterback. Of the veteran quarterbacks that are going to be available either free agency or up for trade, would you pull in Russell Wilson and bring him as a starting quarterback for the Raiders, or Kirk Cousins, or whoever else?
Oh, man. See, I was on the Kirk Cousins tree. We talked about this last night on my show. Like, I was all for, bringing in Kirk Cousins, but at the same time, he wants a lot of fucking money, dude. Like, I'm not paying him $45 million, dude. There's no way I'm doing that. If we could find a way to get Kirk Cousins for more in the vicinity of around 30, 32, I would definitely pull the trigger if I was the Raiders. Now, Russell Wilson, that's a whole nother bag, dude. Russell Wilson, from what I've heard, dude, he's a diva. He's one of them guys that makes the offensive line look worse than it really is, bro, because he holds the ball fucking forever, runs circles. And me personally, I would pass on Russell. I would kick the tires on Kirk for around 32, 33. If not, then I think the Raiders should trade for Fields if we want to be competitive this year. And if they don't, and they want to ride the wave with Aiden O'Connell and continue to build the team around it, just go ahead and maybe draft a quarterback later in the draft, like second round, third round or something, then just build your team through the trenches. The Raiders need offensive linemen. The Raiders need interior defensive linemen. We need a number one corner. So there's a lot of positions of need. But
yeah, and right now, you guys, just so you kind of know, there's two major things I think that we have to take in consideration when we look at the Raiders cap space. I know a lot of this is going to change; it's variable, right? But we have about $36 million in cap space right now, and then Devontae Adams' contract jumps up to $44 million. Okay,
Yep.
44 million. And so you look at it from that standpoint. And if we're going to get a Kirk Cousins, unless you're going to give him like either backload the contract or give him a lot of cash out of pocket, so you're not hitting as much on the front end or whatever, it's tough. But I think Raider Ben's right. I do feel that Kirk Cousins probably gives us the best chance to win a championship if you're looking at a 1 to 3 year window. You don't have to trade any draft picks. I agree with the money. I don't think he's worth 40+ mil, 45 mil. If you can get him a little bit cheaper, possibly, consider it. But, with the Davante Adams contract and him getting at the end of his career, I definitely feel like Kirk Cousins should be option number 1, depending on what happens with the contract. But I think Raider Dave's almost ready to pull up. He just bounced out again. But this was sorry, go ahead, Otis. I want to hear your opinion on Kirk Cousins as well. Otis, go ahead, bro. Sorry.
Otis. I think he has audio issues sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
The audio cuts out.
Then let's kind of pull this one up because this is something that I wasn't sure about. In 2015 at Penn State, Joe Moorhead, who's Thrash was saying was the one that kind of mentored Luke Getsy, averaged 432 passing yards per game. Mike McCarthy hired Getsy as offensive quality control coach in 2014. Let's see if we can pull up Raider Dave, Grimecast Media. You there, bro?
Yo, brother, can you hear me?
Yeah.
What up, Dave?
Yeah.
What up, Ben? What up, Hardcore? What's going down, Otis?
Yeah.
Hey, so I apologize in advance. I'm going through equipment midlife crisis, dude. And so I'm going Apple. Started the year fresh with it. So my mic would not recognize anything. So I apologize, man. I'm on my phone. So I hope it sounds good.
Yeah, you sound good enough, man. I'm just glad to have you on and kind of get your take. I'm sure you got some opinions we'd love to hear. So bro.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Yeah, man. I got my cup of coffee right here, dude. I'm kind of jacked up. I'm doing everything I can to ignore the next 2 weeks, man. Who's on board with that, dude? I don't even know if I could turn the television on February 11th, man. I don't even know if I could turn it on and go with this. I can't do this,
dude.
On Super Bowl Sunday, I just can't do this.
It's the worst nightmare. Worst nightmare, bro.
I mean, dude, like this was like if there was anything I was wishing for all season, dude, it was not this scenario right here, dude. It was like, hey, if the Lions could do it, I'd be cool with the Lions, man, winning their first Super Bowl in Vegas. But But yeah, man, no, like I'm pumped up no matter what, dude. I'm happy to be on here. What's up to you guys, man? Happy New Year. I want to say that all of the odds are against us right now. We got all of the odds against us in one basket right now. They got Harbaugh over there in LA now. You got Sean Payton in Denver. You got Andy Reid, who just keeps winning the AFC West title year after year. In KC, they say he might retire, but that's a rumor that's going to go away. He's not retiring. And dude, I love it. Let's go whip their asses in 2024. We started 2024 1-0, so that's my positive outlook going forward, man.
Oh,
yeah,
real.
I like it, bro. Yeah, we had. Let's see.
There we go.
What up?
What up, dude? What up?
Yeah,
what's going down, baby? Hey, you know what? But yeah, man. Hey, can I tell you guys a story though? I had an experience in Vegas. I went to my first game at Allegiant Stadium. November 26th. That was my 45th birthday, dude. I stay at Caesars, so I took the monorail, dude, to the stadium. If anybody hasn't done that, it's cool. But I got on the last cart, dude. The last cart. And I was the only Raider fan, dude. It was all red jerseys, dude, on that cart.
Oh, wow.
And it was hilarious, dude. I get on that cart, dude, and I go, awkward. Not for me, though, because we're the home team, baby. We're the home team. This is so abnormal for me to be outnumbered by Chiefs fans. I've never, ever, ever would have thought I would have saw this day. And but anyway, it was fun, dude. They're the nicest people in the world, dude. I was the biggest asshole, and I was giving dude a hard time next to me. I'm like, yo, bro, you're wearing a Mecole Hardman jersey, dude. Like, for real, bro? If like that's the guy you're wearing that jersey today, bro.
All the players you chose, that cocksucker.
So I was heckling from the get, dude. So yeah, man, it was and it's just a new experience, man. Allegiant Stadium is a whole new experience for me. It took me a minute to adapt. I was very negative kind of in the beginning, but dude, I went to the Broncos game in the last game of the season, bro, and I had a blast. Don't get me wrong, I had a blast at both games. I was just very, like I said, Chiefs fans had to calm me down a little bit, dude, because I kept telling them we're going to win the West. We're going to whoop your ass in this game. And we start out 14-0, dude. And I'm just like, hey, man, I'm pumped, dude. I think we have I always think we have a chance, man. Whenever you start, our season's starting fresh. There's only 2 teams left. Unfortunately, the 2 teams we hate the most. And each team is definitely in all of our top 3 hated category of hated teams in the NFL. And so, yeah, man, it's a nightmare right now. But as far as our season and what we're doing, yeah, I do have some questions with the offensive coordinator hire. I have some questions with Tom Telesco. It's crazy because we had rookie GMs all throughout, and I was very supportive of Reggie McKenzie, very supportive of Mike Mayock, very supportive of Dave Ziegler. I thought all of them were drafting not the best, but solid enough to where we're seeing those players on the field. So Tom Telesco, I think he's a guy that doesn't really miss in rounds 1 through 3, but it's going to be, I think he has a big challenge ahead, man, because he has to adapt to a team that really wants to win now. We have players on this roster. They want to win now, man. And, we as fans, we just got to get pumped up for that, but we got to hope this whole thing gels. And I think it will, man. I really do. There's going to be some bumps for sure, but with all the odds stacked against us, we just got to go out there and shock people, man.
I like it.
My bad, Harper. Go ahead. Go. No, you're good.
No, you're good. Go.
I was just gonna say, I like the fact that you bring up that a lot of players want to win now, right? That was the whole mindset of keeping Antonio Pierce, right? Like they want to keep him because it gave us our best chance to win now. That's the reason. Like I could kind of maybe seeing Tom Telesco pulling a trigger, dude, and trading 3 or 4 first-round picks for the number 1 overall pick in the draft to give the Raiders a shot to win now.
Woo.
Because there's no other options on the market unless you want to roll the dice with Kirk Cousins. That's probably going to give you a chance to win right now. And I think that's the reason why, I don't know if you guys heard, but Davante Adams was, kind of pulling for Kirk Cousins to be the next Raiders head coach.
Yep.
And that's why, bro, because in all actuality, if you look at it, he's probably going to be the injury. Yeah, very questionable injury, right? But if he can get back to his normal ways, he's going to give the Raiders the best chance to win now. If it's not him, it's going to be, roll the dice and go try to get Justin Fields and see what he can do. And if not, you're going to have to trade up for a top 3 pick in the draft. Those are the only 3 ways that are going to make the Raiders go from, middle of the pack to, possibly have a chance to win next season. As early as next year.
Well, and my main thing is I thought about it several ways. So, and I'm not disagreeing with you, but if we did move up, get a high draft pick, we need I think Aiden O'Connell could be a starter, but I think we just need a higher tier quarterback, level. But I just, like Raider Dave was saying, I've been concentrating on a 1 to 3 year window. We should be in a win now mode, which is one of my frustrations with the previous regime when I just couldn't keep my shit together, but I don't want to revisit that. I'm just saying if this coaching staff and the offensive coordinator, right? And to me, I called it the 3-headed monster, offensive coordinator, scheme, quarterback. If we get that right, we should be freaking in the mix to make a run at a Super Bowl in the next 1 to 3 years, whether that's veteran or rookie or whatever it is, dude. They just have to have not a game plan, the game plan. The previous game plan was not a good game plan. It was a 3 to 5 year game plan while they were saying that we were trying to win now, which is why I did not like the decisions they were making. So I'm kind of open for a lot of decisions we could go for the Raiders, but they have to be focusing on a 1 to 3 year plan. If they don't focus on the short term, I'm cool right now, right? But my positivity could change real quick, and I don't want that. You know what I mean? But I'm with Raider Dave. I think, and Raider Ben as well. I think we do have a lot of things in place. We got to get this offensive line corrected. I think we got to at least create some more competition in the quarterback room, whatever decision they make, preferably someone that can, has a little bit better skill set and scrambler / mobile style quarterback. And if we do that, I think we have a good chance, dude, to make some shit happen.
Yeah, man, I'm interested in the defense too, man, what they do to continue to build on the defense that they already have right now. Paul Graham definitely returning, it looks like. And dude, I'm pumped, dude, for the defense, man. I'm curious with, especially with new hires, dude, like middle linebacker, dude, if with Antonio Pierce getting the offseason as the actual head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, man, does he get us that line? I know we have Robert Spillane, who had a great year for us, man, but does he get that nasty middle linebacker, the general of the defense that just feeds off of Crosby's energy. And then the find with Jack Jones, dude. So these are the things. I know offense is definitely our biggest question. We kind of flipped, man. It's like our offense was solid and then our defense was suspect. And now we got that defense, it looks like, dude, we're getting that pressure. And I think it really starts the defensive line, man. I really think that's where they established that nastiness, dude. And it just, the rest of the guys feed off it, dude. We saw a good play from the safeties. Isaiah Palau, you know, he could be an up-and-comer, dude, undrafted free agent, I believe. He could be an up-and-comer, dude. And then Chris Smith, dude, one thing they never talked about all offseason, I'm excited for, I like Chris Smith, man. I'm glad we drafted him, the safety out of Georgia, dude. I heard he, like, all this year they had him just studying the game, dude, and learn, you know, because I think that guy could be a good instinctive safety for the Raiders in the future, dude. So I'm interested to see his future. And I know I'm kind of bouncing around now, but getting back to that middle linebacker, dude, if we could find that guy, dude, and it could be in the draft, and maybe AP already has connections, and I haven't done thorough research on it, but I'm wondering, dude, if he can find us that guy in the middle, dude, that just takes it over on the defense. And if we're a plus turnover margin type team, dude, offense could be kind of mediocre, and we could still be, that could be a winning formula, you know?
Yeah. Well, and I do want to say,
you're not a Spillane guy?
Oh, I love Spillane, but I'm talking like a 240-pound nasty, and I'm probably I like Spillane. Don't get me wrong. I like Spillane, but I think like finding a guy in the draft, you know, that's going to be, you know, because I think linebacker, you got to have at least, you know, 3 good, you know, I mean, if you could stack our linebackers, you know, it gives us so much more ability using a 3-4 defense, depending on if we change it up with certain looks. Because I know Patrick Graham's, he's changed it up quite a few times, but I love Spillane. I love what he did this year. I was just saying this offseason, like with you know, AP being the actual head guy making decisions, man, I'm wondering if we beef that part up, you know, and maybe Spillane maybe moves to the outside a little bit.
Tackle, to be honest.
Oh, absolutely, dude. But we still have guys like Tyree Wilson, man. I don't know if he's our future, you know, guy that they're going to move around the line. It looks like he might be. So I really liked his crawling sack versus Denver was really cool.
I do want to interrupt real quick and say something here. I am trying to pull up Raider Critique because if you guys don't know, back in 2018, before anybody was doing group shows, it was me, Raider Ben, Raider Dave, Grimecast Media, and then Raider Critique. He's at the store, but I said, pull your ass up, bro. So shout out. We got to pull up all the OGs in here. We got Al's Ghost backstage. I'm going to pull you up in a minute. But if you guys don't know my homie Grimecast Media, I'm not like trying to toot his own horn. And there's a lot of people in Raider Nation that do good, you know, draft, you know, analysis and stuff. But I've known Raider Dave. I met him personally, dude. Like, you know, for a lot of us in Raider Nation, I know he's busy, doesn't have time to do videos and stuff. From everybody in Raider Nation that does like draft reviews and stuff, Raider Dave, dude, you are one of the fucking best that really like deep dives into some shit, like hit the nail on the head. And I'm not trying to toot your own. Hold on, I'm not trying to toot your own horn.
I got some shit to say about the draft last year.
The minute we drafted Tyree Wilson, Raider Dave, I remember it like yesterday, dude. You can go back to my draft video from last year. Raider Dave said something very important about Tyree Wilson. He said he needs to work on his hand movement like Max Crosby with the jiu-jitsu and some of the hand movement. And you were 100% right this year, bro, where he's got power and stuff, but he has to work on his hands. And honestly, like that was something when you mentioned it. Yeah, maybe some other people realized that as well, but it was something that we seen where a lack of production. But then when he moved to the defensive line, it seemed like, you know, it fit him a little better, but also it seemed like he was like working on that hand movement. So like, I'm not giving up on Tyree Wilson. I think he has potential, but I think you hit the nail on the head. The second we drafted him, that was the main thing you said. He has to work on the hand movement. And so with Tyree Wilson, like, I think he's got potential. I still like the pick. Not everybody did, but he's got to get that hand movement shit right, you know, and you've hit the nail on the head on a lot of draft picks of shit that like guys, maybe you were looking at that I wasn't, or certain like skill sets. So if you guys don't know, man, if Grimecast Media, if Raider Dave does some, videos this offseason about drafts, man, check him out because he has his own YouTube channel as well and does a great job trying to share knowledge about, like, you know, his stance on the draft. And there's other guys that do it as well, but you do a great job, dude. So hopefully we see some videos from you coming up here, bro.
Thank you for that compliment, dude. I do want to get on here, dude. Life gets busy, but I got to do a better job of scheduling myself. I've thought about like 2 a.m. podcasts and stuff to get stuck content out. I mean, it's always on my mind every day, dude. It's on my mind. So thank you very much for that. I do got a lot to say about the draft, dude. Like, so Tyree Wilson was a guy that I wasn't really watching, dude. I mean, I know a lot of people liked him. I listened to people that liked him, and that's where I got a lot of the information about him. So I wasn't really a Tyree Wilson guy. My guy was Devin Witherspoon. I wanted to get that guy. I wanted that that guy to fall to 7. There was so much speculation around him. Some thought that he might be a top 35 pick. So I'm in a draft league, dude, and I took shit for that pick. I got him at number 7 to the Raiders, and I took shit for that pick. They're like, that guy could go top 35. I'm like, how the hell is this guy is an elite corner, and he showed it last year. I mean, he showed. See, you saw Devin Witherspoon do some shit with Seattle. But the one pick that I want to talk about, Sam Laporta, dude, that was my tight end last year. Nobody was talking about that guy, dude, and he's probably the best tight end in the league right now. So, dude, I thank you very much for that, because I do, like I said, it's guesswork. Draft is guesswork. Let me be very real, dude, about it, dude. Like, I've just been having fun doing it, going back to like Tim Brown's draft pick, dude. It's just my uncle was a Notre Dame fan. He's a college guy, so I would watch football with him, and then you get your favorite players. And Tim Brown was a Heisman Trophy winner and all that, dude. And then Al Davis was notorious for getting the Heisman Trophy players, and so it made Charles Woodson. I remember the speculation with Andre Wadsworth and Charles Woodson, and I'm like, dude, they're gonna get Charles Woodson. There's no way, unless he goes number 3 to Arizona. So like, all of it's been really fun. The whole draft stuff, it really comes down to Al Davis and picking those Heisman Trophy winners, the free agent offseason. So I appreciate that, man. It's more of just the type of fan that I am, dude. I love the Raiders the last 20 years, man. I mean, I told you guys I was at that game not in Denver, in Oakland, when they won the West the last time, dude. And that hunger from the loss of Super Bowl 37 just lives forever. So these last 20 years, I've utilized my time in a lot of positive ways. We've had a lot of miserable years, dude. I've taken a lot of shit. I'm out here in Cali, dude. I know, Ben, you're up there in NorCal, dude, dealing with probably Niner fans galore out there right now. Yep. And, we deal with all that shit talking, dude. I've dealt with the Charger fans talking shit, dude. And when they beat us like 14 straight, the Broncos, they've won 3 Super Bowls. So I've witnessed it. I've only witnessed the Raiders win 1 Super Bowl, you know what I mean? And like the Chiefs now, they're in their 3rd Super Bowl in the last 4 years or something like that. I might be off on that one, but we saw the Patriots do what so this has been a long ride. So the offseason, it's almost like it's a good thing for a Raider fan, I think, to be productive in the offseason and be optimistic, man, because I think that's our best recipe for a good mentality. And just to kind of show it's fun. I mean, for me, I have fun, dude. I had fun going after Chiefs fans, dude, at that game, being the underdog. I think we were like, shit, I want to say we were 11 points, dude, or 10 points. I can't remember, but
yeah, something.
I just telling them all day, dude, we're going to win the West. I can't erase that mentality of, like, if you're an opposing fan, I got to get in your face and I got to tell you where we stand and what I believe in my team, man. And so yeah, man, draft is always fun, dude. Like but I was off on Dalton Kincaid. I was kind of slamming on Dalton. He's better than I thought. I just looked at him like a wide receiver.
We're gonna pull up.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead. No, let him up. Let your boy up.
I was just gonna say we're gonna pull up Al's Ghost, but I did want to give a quick shout out to Ultimate Raider Fan. He's got a YouTube channel. Me, and Protect the Shield went live on Protect the Shield's podcast, and he's got a great football mind. So, Ultimate Raider Fan, I'm gonna put the link in the chat in a minute. If you want to pull up, man, everybody's welcome on here. Usually it's all love as long as we're respectful to each other. We ain't gotta agree. But he's a really fucking cool dude. But with that being said,
I got to get him on my show.
Yeah, dude, he's a cool cat. So Al's Ghost pulling up, man. What up, brother?
What's up,
how
fellas?
you doing?
How's it going, guys?
Good.
What's up, dude?
Fuck off,
Hey,
Alex.
Raider Dave, Happy New Year, dude. Haven't seen you in a while. Happy New Year.
Hey, Happy New Year to you, man, as well, brother. Hey, we're 1-0 to start the year, baby.
That's what it is, dude. That's what it is.
I was at that last game in Denver, man. I was hopeful, dude. I wanted that West title, bro. I wanted it.
Absolutely. Salute Benther, salute Hardcore. Just wanted to say a couple of comments, and before I got to run a couple errands. You know how the weekend is. You got to run errands. Again, the first one, dude, not to be sort of downer / negative, but I think we got to trade Davante Adams, dude, if we want to really have a window in the next. If we want to have a window in the next 2-3 years, we can't have so much cap space tied up in a single player, especially at the wide receiver position, right? I think for as complicated as football is as a sport, it's a pretty simple sport at the end of the day. Whoever wins the trenches wins the football games, like 9 times out of 10. If we could trade Davante Adams, get 2 elite offensive linemen, I'm through with the Andre James experiment. Like, I'm sorry.
Yep, me too.
He's getting bullied pretty much every single game, especially by Chris Jones. I mean, last time I saw the Chiefs game, I mean, he was just getting manhandled out there. and he's just not built to be a center in the NFL. Maybe move Parham to center. Let's try to find a couple nasty guards. And obviously, we haven't solved the right tackle position for several years now. Trent Brown was supposed to be that guy, but I
think your mic's cutting out, bro.
Yeah, good points, dude. The one thing, though, right tackle Thayer Mumford, though, is starting to show something there. And
I like Munford a lot too. I think he's still a little wet behind the ears, though. You know what I mean? But he does look good.
You know what's crazy about Mumford, dude? The year before, dude, he was like a projected like top 10 pick, but then he stayed his senior year, dude, and like
his positions. I think Munford was a guard or something, or played the opposite tackle. In his last year, he switched his position because they said it would help the team out the most. And he said he didn't really care. He cared more about helping the team than his actual draft stock because he was so good at his position.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've seen him. He's set some good, they've had there's some good pockets for O'Connell early on. And last year he blocked pretty well for Carr coming in as, so yeah, man, Thayer Mumford, I'm still intrigued by, but yeah, I say always beef up the line, dude. Always draft and beef up the line. And there was a question I was going to ask you guys, man, and it was something Al's Ghost brought up in his take. Forgot though.
Patrick Holmes Sr. just got his third DUI, dude. That dude looks high as fuck, dude.
and dude, you know what's crazy? Like, they get away with so much. Think about all the shit the Chiefs organization that they sweep under the rug, dude. Like Andy Reid's brother, like killed like a family on the side of the road, leaving a restaurant drunk after a Chiefs win.
He killed their daughter, bro. He hit a car and killed a little. Andy Reid's son fucking hit a fucking. He hit a car on the side of the road and killed a baby.
Yeah, right, dude. Was that the one? That was the one in Was that the one in KC? That was one in KC, huh?
So, yep.
And then also, dude, remember what's his name, dude? The linebacker they had, man, I'm spacing his name, dude. But he killed his pregnant girlfriend and then shot himself in front of the staff. I'm not saying like these are tragedies and these are sad stories, but like the Chiefs organization, they do like to sweep that type of shit under the rug. And like it's crazy. It's just crazy how the NFL, is these days, dude. In the way, like if you know about the Lamar Hunt family, they're corrupt. Al Davis was legit,
Yeah. You got a preference on the Super Bowl? Oh, go ahead, Otis.
Al Davis just said the way it was. He didn't care about people's feelings.
He didn't know, and he won it, and it was all for the game of football, dude. I mean,
that was the thing, and that's what irritates me now because people will still talk smack about Al Davis, and I'm like, you guys have no idea how much he did for the NFL. It wasn't just about the Raiders, but he changed the game in a lot of ways to where we're at now. Without and he took the brunt of everything from Pete Rozelle, the commissioner at the time.
Oh, dude.
And
Otis be snapping, boy, and his mic just be cutting off on him, but he be snapping.
I know that. I'm on my phone too, dude. So I'm adjusting on my phone as well, man. But yeah, no, man, it's hey, Freddie B. Sorry, bro. I was gonna tell you we're on here. What's good, Freddie B? Hey, I gotta tell you guys, I met Fred Biletnikoff this year, dude. It was a cool experience, man. And dude, like it's crazy because what was crazy about it was crazy is, dude, I connected with I went to Orange Glen High School, dude, and he coached there for 2 years in 80 and 81. So we were connecting like the town I grew up with and all that. Because when he retired, he moved right to a city right outside my town. And so I just heard stories from like community members. They told me stories, and it was just cool because I connected those stories with him while I was getting his autograph, and we were just talking, dude. And it was just fun, dude, because I'm like, you going to the game? He's like, yeah, I'm going to the game, dude. I'm like, cool, dude, and like, and it's just cool when you got the game, then you see him, all the Raider alumni, dude, showing up to the games this year was awesome, dude. That was so awesome. The last game of the season, to see all the Raider alumni, dude, in the locker room in some full support. As a fan, dude, that meant something to me, dude.
Yeah. Otis said his phone's cutting out, so sorry, Otis, but thanks for joining us. And then Al's Ghost, I'm sure he probably had to get going, but just want to say salute. Thank you guys, everybody in the chat, and then AK Fred. Ain't seen you in a minute, so hopefully you're doing good, bro. But then we got Protect the Shield, man. What up, dude? You can pull up to Protect the Shield if you want to say anything about what the hire or what we're kind of chatting about. I put a link for the StreamYard in the chat. I can also send it to you, DM it to you if you want, bro. But oh snap, dude, we need a fucking drum roll for this shit. We got the one, the only, the guy that likes corporate media. Just kidding. What up, bro?
What up, gang?
What up, dude?
Dude, this is I'm like, this is as old school as it gets, right? Fucking here, dude. Cheers, motherfuckers, dude. What's up, man?
Cheers. Got the Lokes and the beanie rolling.
That's because I'm not applauding this move, bro.
Yeah, me neither. I'm with you.
I'm not applauding it at all. Yeah, me as well. I'm with you guys.
Have option, like literally, like desperation move 101. Fucking typical Raiders. Here we go.
Raiders gonna Raider
we
gang.
Trying to get experience to match up with AP. This doesn't scream that to me at all.
Motherfucking dude's only got 3 years of offensive coordinator experience. And he's had two of the 3 years, he's had one of the worst fucking passing games, dude, in the NFL. He's had 1 year where he's had a top like 3 running game, but his passing game was still last in the league damn near, bro. So look, I mean, if Antonio Pierce wants to run the ball 30 times a game and not pass it, bro, you might have got your guy because he can't pass the ball to save his fucking life.
Like, yeah, it was better than us, but I mean, that wasn't fucking hard to do. We had Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right? Oh, yeah, no offensive line.
No offensive line. Jimmy Garoppolo and Aiden O'Connell. Aiden O'Connell pulling shit out of his ass just to even get numbers this year.
Yep.
Because that offensive line was so bad. And this dude had Justin Fields, and they couldn't get a better record than what they did. They couldn't get higher up than what they did when it came to the offensive rankings. That's what scares me. That scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, you know what that brings up? Because Al's Ghost brought up, going back to Jimmy Garoppolo. Now I have a question, dude. What do you guys think this offseason? Do you think they actually cut him, dude? Or how do they? Because with that contract, man, I'm not buying into them just cutting him and releasing him. I'm wondering if they
by cutting him, the dead cap's worth too much. It's best to just keep him, dude, and keep him as a backup. In my opinion, I just keep.
That's what I think, dude. And I actually think he's a pretty good backup, dude. Like as far as a teammate goes.
Room guy.
And I was watching him on the sidelines, dude. I mean, he's warming up with Aiden and man, you know, let me ask you guys another question, dude. I fucking like Aiden O'Connell.
I do too.
I like him. And
Aiden too.
What do you guys think of that beautiful touchdown to Davante Adams in that Bronco? I thought, dude, if you watch his foot, he's drifting back. His eyes are locked in. I don't know, man. I just think, dude, if this guy can get it together, he could be a 30+ TD quarterback for us. If not, I mean, if we might go back to a true pocket passer, not saying that we shouldn't pass on any opportunities on a quarterback this offseason, or even getting a veteran in there. But, you know, I don't know. I just see something developing there with Aiden O'Connell, man. It's very small right now, but there's something there.
I hear you, bro, but it's a lot of money to keep him on. It's a lot of money to cut him too. But the 28 million cap number, guaranteed.
Oh, regards to Garoppolo, yeah, no, I was just more going towards Aiden O'Connell as far as like.
Yeah. But I just wanted to pull that up, and then I'm going to go post June 1st, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I just want to explore this real quick.
Oh, so we actually are going to save some money from getting rid of Jimmy G. Then fuck yeah, get rid of him.
But
from every report I heard is that the dead cap was so much it wasn't even worth cutting him.
I want to say it was like 17 or 19 million, right?
Well, if we do it post June 1st, that's where it's like a split up between 2 years, essentially, the 12 and then the 15. So, you know, so the 28 gets split up if you do it post, you know, otherwise that's a lot of money for a back. I mean, I hear you, bro, but that's 28 mil. That's a hard pill to swallow.
20, his 28 mil backup next year. Yeah, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money for a backup, but you're gonna eat it regardless. You know,
they backloaded the contract. Look at the first year; it's 7 mil, and so when they restructured it. This is the other thing with Dave Ziegler and McDaniels. When they restructured his contract, they gave a bunch more guaranteed money, and then they backloaded it. So we're kind of
that was a panic move right there.
That contract.
Yeah, they panicked on that. I think they did. They panicked on that one. That was when they re-signed Josh Jacobs, I think, too, right? Like right before they gave Josh Jacobs some his 1 year deal. Yeah. No, it got towards a mess, dude. Towards the season, dude, and I mean towards the beginning of the season, dude. As far as like with McDaniels and all that, dude, it was definitely a setback, dude. And you know, this time around, I think we're in a little bit different of a situation. We're keeping all the Like we kept like Antonio Pierce is a huge asset, I think, dude, because he has a chemistry with the players. The players want him there. There's a winning formula that started in place immediately. I mean, he started turning around immediately. Offensive coordinator's been the biggest struggle, dude. You had the quarterbacks coach Bo Hardigree step in, dude, and like you saw his weaknesses, dude, especially in that Colts game, man.
For sure.
But again, we
didn't get an offensive coordinator, right? I mean,
there was no. You mean the offense? What's Mike Lombardi or whatever? Yeah.
Oh, Mike Lombardi. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, he was just a tool, just a stand.
He's a big time tool, dude. He's a big time tool, and man. It's dude. Hey, with all the coaching staff and everything, dude. I mean, it's like I'm liking the former player. I'm liking the former players becoming coaches, man. I think that's the way to go. It's just a better relationship for the locker room. I think because Antonio Pierce, man, I liked him when he was with the Giants, dude. I rooted for that team, dude. I mean, you had Tom Coughlin in Green Bay with the tap face, and I'm like, dude, if I want that Patriots team dethroned, that 18-0 Patriots team, and they did it, dude. Or was it 9? Yeah, they were 18-0, and they shut down Randy Moss combined with Tom Brady, dude. And like that mentality, I like that mentality is coming into our locker room. And I like that Max Crosby's been one of the hardest working guys on the defensive line. And I think that's like having a free guy, like a free coach, because a coach can't tell a player, hey, you need to do this off-season workout. But a player can call up another player and be like, hey, bro, you want to meet me freaking over here at the field, bro? We're going to run some hills today. We're going to do this. We're going to do some jumps. We're going to do some stunts. And we're not going to stop today, baby, because we're going to take out the Chiefs in 2024, baby. That's what we're doing.
That's what I like about having him, too, because hopefully he's doing the same thing to Tyree Wilson. Set fire up underneath all those guys' asses, man, to get out here and play. Defense, for the first time, I can honestly say I'm not worried about. If we see the same defense that we saw last season, this coming season, we have nothing to worry about. But I do worry about this offense.
Oh, of course. Dude, the offense is the biggest question mark.
And we shouldn't be. We've dropped so much money into the offense.
Yep. Well, when you don't have a quarterback, though, it's easy to have that question mark. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It don't matter how much money we have all over our offense, dude. If we do not have the biggest piece, it doesn't matter, dog. It's all for nothing.
Oh, and I got to say something about quarterbacks too, dude. So like with the NFL and this concussion protocol, dude, I almost think it's mandatory to have two quarterbacks, dude, because your quarterback, dude, let's say you have a superstar quarterback, he's doing good, dude. He's on a 5-6 game winning streak, but he comes off the sidelines looking a little dizzy, and some NFL doctor makes a call and says, hey, dude, I want that guy in the tent. And dude, next thing you know, he's out for 5 games. You got to have a guy ready to go in the NFL today, dude. I mean, I see concussion protocol as kind of a problem right now in the NFL because it's at the discretion of an NFL member, dude, that can just make that decision, just like a referee, screwed up a call. I
don't think we have to worry about the NFL going to flag football. Nobody's watching the Pro Bowl today. They're here watching us. I
got to address Cowtown Luda.
Damn, dude, the way that how they're installing rules and whatnot, they make it to the point to where you need 3 running backs, 2 fucking quarterbacks, 2 viable quarterbacks, probably 5 or 6 wide receivers. Because lo and behold, if you've got dudes like Jimmy Garoppolo throwing people in hospital balls, right in the way and then getting cleaned out, you're going to need about 5 or 6 wide receivers.
I got to address Cowtown Luda. Said Aiden O'Connor led Purdue to beat my guy Hendon Hooker, so he's trying to at me. You guys all know I heard about Hendon Hooker. That was the guy I wanted in this draft. But Hendon Hooker also beat Bryce Young in Alabama. He also beat Will Levis in Kentucky, and then he beat Anthony Richardson and the Florida Gators. But I'll just leave it at that. But we got someone backstage. He's been waiting patiently. He's the one, the only, the ultimate Raider fan, dude. He's got a great channel. I appreciate your takes, bro. What up, big dog?
What's going on, gentlemen? Nice to meet everybody, man. Very nice to meet you all, and I really appreciate you pulling me up.
Hell yeah. I like your takes, bro.
Appreciate that.
How you feeling about this OC hire, dude? Getsy, the great Getsy.
You know what, man? I'm an emotional dude, bro. I'm gonna just tell you that right off. So when news comes out, no matter whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, I'm going to make it the extreme of whichever one it is. and this was not good to me initially. I hopped on last night at midnight. I was hot. I was not happy in any way, shape, or form. But I slept on it as I always do. And I started to do my research, right? See, a lot of people don't do that research. And I started digging in. And the bottom line is that when you look at Getsy's numbers, his numbers outshine ours with a worse team across the board offensively, period. So he can't do any worse than what we've done, if you will. And, I didn't like what Kingsbury did. I get what he did. I mean, I'm going to get the top dollar I can get as well. So absolutely, I'm going to play ball and do what I can from that respect. But he's just not a Raider either, in my opinion. Kingsbury's just not a Raider. So I'm not saying Getsy is, but at the same time, when you start digging and doing your research, I mean, he's clearly a Davante Adams guy. I mean, Davante actually has to give him praise because he was his receivers.
Thank you. I was saying that earlier.
So, I mean, if you know that, you obviously know he cultivated some of what Love has been doing here, right? Because that was part of the deal while he was there. Aaron Rodgers, all these things has had to have rubbed off on him. And again, when you look at his numbers, better than ours in every fashion, as well as better than Bieniemy. You go look at Bieniemy's record last year and what he did. I mean, he never runs the ball, so that's a whole problem in itself. I mean, when you look at this, it's not as bad as it initially came to be, and in fact, you can actually start to see some brighter things. As you dig, the further and further you go. So I'm still, I'm not going to sit here and try to act like I'm happy, But at the same time, it's nowhere near as bad as what it was.
Yeah, I feel that, man.
Yeah,
I hope not.
I'm tired. That's that positive side coming out, Critique. That's that positive side.
I like it. I need some positivity, bro. I'll take it all day long, man. Feed it to me, because sometimes I'm too negative, bro. So I love it, man.
I got a positive outtake.
Let's get fire me about that shit.
Yeah, you sent the wrong guy the link. You wanted positivity over here, dude. I woke up at 8 o'clock this morning after getting great sleep going, what the fuck did we just do?
Yep.
Oh
me too,
my
bro.
God.
I'm in the same boat as you. This shit feels just as bad today as it did last night.
I tried not to freak out on Ben's channel last night. I was like, dude, I can't freak out on Ben's channel, dude. He gonna be pissed at me if I come off the handle on his shit. But yeah, it's all good.
That shit.
This was bad. I'm not gonna lie. This was bad. I mean, it's still got a bad taste. I don't like it. I don't like it.
My only saving grace, I'll say it again.
There was
if Hugh Jackson to mentor him, if we get Hugh Jackson to mentor him, then I'm all game. Like, I ain't tripping. But like I said before, if Hugh Jackson ain't part of the mix, I'm gonna be tripping hard. But yeah, man. Raider Dave,
keep in mind
about Getsy. I know we got OG Raider in the background. We'll pull him up in a minute. But Raider Dave, did you want to give a take kind of on your initial thoughts of Getsy? Because I don't think I've really heard you kind of give your take on it either.
Sure, man. My positive outlook on Getsy is that he's 39 years old. He still has a lot to learn. So that's my upside with him. Other than that, man, I'm with you guys. I don't got much on and I'm usually the most positive guy. You guys have to understand, so we had a devastating, 2021 season, dude. My guy, I loved him, dude. He was my draft pick. He was on my mock. It was Henry Ruggs, dude. I thought he was going to change the Raiders offense, dude, with those 10-inch hands, dude. People forget he has big ass hands, practically a 4'1", 4'2", 40, dude. He's a blazing burner, dude, out there. And, tragedy strikes, man. And then John Gruden gets fired. And then the offseason comes around, dude. And, I caught that story like 3 days before it really started hitting the news that Josh McDaniels was a high priority candidate for the Raiders, dude. And that's not a good taste, man. We all know who Josh McDaniels is. Yep. So when I listened to a press conference and I'm like, hey, dude, I want to hear, what this man's going to say about his second run as a head coach. And I'm going to take everything positive from it and run with it and hope that his second chance is the best one. So right now with this year, I love the AP hire, man. That's ultimately the best hire for me in the last decade, dude, as far as head coach goes, man, because the player reaction, dude, the locker room is there. The alums, like I said, Fan Appreciation Day. Fan Appreciation Day means so much to me, dude, as a freaking fan, dude. Going to the game and being appreciated for showing up, losing our voices. This year was my first year going to Allegiant Stadium. So this is my first go around there. And, it was a new experience, man. It's a new experience. So as far as me looking at Getsy, I don't really have much, man. I'm with you guys. Running game. I'm curious if, I think Austin Eckler will probably be the highest priority free agent, I think, out there, along with Jacobs because of their age. So I don't know what we're going to do at running back position, but man, I'm looking at it more like thinking when it's positive, I'm thinking Marvin Lewis, mentorship, and like you guys said, Hugh Jackson from the offensive standpoint. But I think that mentorship, for the coordinators with the staff they have right now, I think that's going to be key ingredient going forward. And then ultimately, it's just the odds stacked against us. The Chargers, they're going to be a talked about team this offseason with Harbaugh, man. They're, Sean Payton, they think they got something going on there. I don't really see it, over there in Denver. I don't see things happening over there. So we'll see how that works out. But Denver could be a favorite against us when we play them next year. We don't know yet. We'll see how the offseason shake. But KC will definitely be underdogs in those games, 10-point underdogs. So if the odds stacked against us, we want to see that the way the team played December 25th in 2023 on Christmas Day, dude. We want to see that type of performance, dude. And I know it was shaky on offense, but we got the win. All it is about getting that win, man. So, but yeah, I mean,
that type of performance, dude.
What was that?
Do you think Getsy is going to get us that type of performance out of our offense?
For what type of performance? Which one? The KC game? Because the KC game, we had a horrible offensive performance in the KC game. So what I'm getting at is
more than 19.4. He'll average more. Again, that's the thing that we're not understanding either when it comes to our offense. It's at the bottom of the barrel. It's rock bottom. Whoever came in, it's not going to be hard for them to beat that, right?
And here's the thing. And here's the thing. Do remember, dude, one of our best seasons, 2016 season. That was I want to say that was a 26-point game. Like we were scoring 26 points a game, which is where you need to be in today's NFL. You cannot be scoring 18, 19 points a game. You will be at best an 8-win team like we saw. So yeah, man, I'm with you 110%. I know I'm kind of rambling a little bit, man. I haven't been on here in a while, man. I used to do shows like weekly and talk about this stuff, but like, man, it's like I'm just like with this hire, man, I'm optimistic based on age. I think there's a lot of room for him to learn, dude, and we'll just see how it goes, man. I mean, once again, I don't know if we have the full story yet. We'll see how this evolves because who's going to be? I mean, this guy's going to be calling plays, but how is that authority going to be handed down, and how is this going to, like I said, what type of did they get this guy because the rumor was, I guess, Cliff Kingsbury wanted to trade up in the draft and so there was that rumor out there. So maybe that's a good sign that we're not going to trade. I don't think we should trade up in the draft, man. I think we're sitting good at 13. I think we should take the best player available. I think we should do that definitely in the top 3 rounds, even if that's a quarterback available at one of those picks. But I think there's a lot of quarterbacks. I think there's a lot of things, room for this team to grow. And man, when it comes to growing as an offensive coordinator, man, I'm pulling for the guy. But yeah, like I said, I kind of scratched my head on the Tom Telesco hire, and I scratched my head on this hire a tad. But we'll see, man. We'll see, man. I do have trust in. I have trust in AP, dude, and Tom Telesco, man. It's gonna take some getting used to, dude. I always thought of him highly as the Chargers GM, dude. I didn't think he was doing a bad job there, but I wasn't really paying attention. But at the same time, now that I've read up on Tom Telesco, I have some concerns.
Yeah. Hey, I want to say something here real quick. Hey, dude, this is like I'm still tripped out, dude. Because if you guys don't know, nobody in Raider Nation was doing group shows. Me, Raider Ben, Raider Critique, Raider Dave started doing group shows in 2018, and then there's been a lot of spinoffs, and that's cool. Like, you know what? If it's helped encourage you guys to do a YouTube channel, that's fucking awesome. But I'll tell you right now, this is the OGs, and I'm not just like tooting our own horn. It used to be like us 4. We were trying to bring unity to Raider Nation, and we got the OGs back up in here, dude. And I'm like tripping out here. But I love you guys, man. Whether you gave me 5 minutes of your time or an hour, I love all you guys on here. Then Ultimate Raider fan as well, dude. And I just love to chop it up talking Raiders, dude. So it means a lot to me. Let's pull up OG Raider, see if he's around. I don't know what his screen is of, but OG Raider, you there? And if he don't pull up, then I'll drop him backstage and we'll pull him up here when he's ready or whatever. So,
and Ultimate Raider fan 32. Nice meeting you, brother. I'm Raider Dave, man. A pleasure meeting you, brother.
You too, boss. Absolutely, man.
Cheers, everybody.
Quick question: NorCal, SoCal, or Nevada, or?
Well, I'm originally from Connecticut, but I've been in Texas for 16 years. Yeah,
Marcus Allen. Man.
Yeah, Marcus Allen was my favorite, right? Running back, 6 years old, just ran with it.
Fuck yeah,
dude.
dude.
I love it, dude. We didn't have a team, you know what I mean? We don't have a, we don't have a professional football team. The only professional team we had was the Whalers, if anybody remembers the Hartford Whalers. And then they went in the 80s. Exactly. That was
a long time ago, bro.
Yep.
I want to pull up a topic here, if you guys don't mind, and kind of get your guys' thoughts on this transition here a little bit, if we could. So something I've kind of been thinking about, guys, I think it's important to consider no matter what route the Raiders go for quarterback position, whether we go like a veteran style, which there aren't much options, I know, or we're looking at the draft. I just want to kind of go over, teams in the NFL that might need a quarterback here, okay? Because I think this can maybe help us determine if we're going to draft somebody in the first round or second round. So I'm going to read off some teams that might need a quarterback, and I want to get your guys' opinions on what you're thinking. So Chicago right here, number 1, they need a quarterback. Commanders, Patriots, Cardinals, they're probably not going to go quarterback because the Kyler Murray contract. Giants just gave Daniel Jones a contract, but maybe they might go quarterback, probably not. Titans drafted, Will Levis, so they're probably not going to go quarterback. Falcons are a team, they might go quarterback. Jets, they got Aaron Rodgers, but if they go quarterback, might be second round, I would say. Vikings, Kirk Cousins is a free agent, so Vikings are probably going to be one of the teams that might go quarterback. Broncos definitely need a quarterback, okay? Saints, they got Carr, probably not yet. Seattle Seahawks, that's a team that might go quarterback. Let's see who else here. I'm kind of spitballing.
We're above them.
We're going through this. Texans, no. Cowboys, no, probably not. Buccaneers, possibly.
I don't know, man. They are really enjoying Baker over there, bro.
Yeah, that's
that's like give him a contract.
Yeah, Tampa Bay probably not.
Baker found his home over in Tampa.
I don't know.
To me, it feels like Washington. Washington because of Sam Howell. I mean, Sam Howell had some. I would say beginner's luck. Okay, New England, yes. You know what I mean? They're going to move on from Mac Jones. Arizona, no. Chargers, no. Giants, I think that contract's too big for fucking Daniel Jones, so no. Tennessee, they've got Malik Willis waiting in the background. So
and Will Levis.
Yeah,
they got Levis. They're going to rock with
Levis. And they've got Levis too. So I mean, yeah, Atlanta possibly.
Yes. They need a quarterback. They don't have one.
And then Chicago are actually pick a quarterback with their first pick, which I really don't know if they're going to move on from Justin Fields, bro.
Well, no, people are predicting that the Bears are going to trade with Atlanta for Justin Fields.
See, and that could be possible too. And if that works out, then that means you're only looking at like maybe 3 teams snagging a quarterback before us.
3? No, I don't know, bro.
Well, Denver and Minnesota, so 5.
There could be.
Top 5 go.
I think 4 to 5 could go top 10, maybe.
5 could go top 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. 5 could go top 10, which means Bo Nix and Penix Jr. might be gone before we even pick at 13. Some teams are going to reach for a quarterback because they're needy. You know what I mean? Yep. So I don't know. But yeah, let's go around the mic. See what some of you other guys are thinking. Raider Ben, I ain't heard you in a minute, bro. I want to hear what kind of your thoughts on other quarterback needy teams.
Washington's going more likely to take a quarterback. New England's going to take a quarterback. The Giants, I'm with the critique. That contract for old buddies too expensive. Daniel Jones, they can't move on. Atlanta's probably going to take a quarterback. If the Bears do move on from Justin fucking Fields, they're definitely going to end up taking a fucking quarterback. So yeah, dude, like I said, if the Raiders don't trade into the top 3, we're not getting a quarterback, bro. Not any of the top quarterbacks that are going to make us winners this season. You know what I mean?
We need to trade for fucking Justin Fields, bro.
Yeah, I'm with that. I'm all in for Justin Fields, dog. But
just fucking trade our first.
It's gonna be cheaper.
Trade something to get him.
I think we could get him for a 2nd round pick, dog.
Yeah, I've read 3rd round pick too.
Yeah, maybe even that would be fucking a blessing. But I think it's gonna be a second.
I would love
because Justin Fields doesn't have his contract yet, right? Justin Fields is still in his rookie contract, correct?
Still got two more, I believe.
So I think, dude, if Chicago's going to give up on him, dude, I think, there could be some good value because they just want to get away from that contract, dude, at this point, if they're moving on, if they actually are moving on, which they probably are with their draft choice.
If one thing you want to keep in mind too, though, like if we're going to, me particular and the guys that aren't really a big fan of the hiring of that Getsy guy, right? Yeah, his passing offense was shit, but they never had no fucking wide receivers in Chicago. They've been fucking begging for fucking wide receivers forever. That's why they went and got DJ Moore, and DJ Moore is a good wide receiver, but he's not a great wide receiver, dude. It's not like he's like, if he comes over here with this offense, Getsy, we have Davante Adams. You know what I'm saying? Which is better than anything they've had in fucking 20 years. You know what I'm saying? And we got Jacoby Myers, and we have a great tight end. So
Jacoby Myers was fun to watch this year, man.
So he and that's one thing too, is like if you look at Justin Fields, right? Like he wasn't a great quarterback because they never really had no talent around the kid, bro. Shitty offensive line, no wide receivers. They ran the ball when they could, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, dog. I feel like Getsy could be a good pickup, dude, if he can find a way just to get the passing game cranking. But that's all gonna that's all, that's gonna help determine that factor is who we have under center for the Raiders. So if we got some scrub, it's gonna be a wrap.
Ultimate Raider fan, curious on your opinion before I kind of get your take. So like kind of where I'm going with this, just real quick, what I'm thinking. First of all, like Grader Dave was saying, it's possible 5 quarterbacks go top 10. It's possible by the time we pick in the second round, we haven't gotten like to the later draft picks really that too much, but or like later after us, we pick in the first round. If we wanted to go the quarterback option, if like Greater Ben was saying, if we don't move up to the top 3, I don't even know that Bo Nix or Penix Jr. would be available at 13, let alone thinking like, oh, we'll wait till the second round. Because originally I was like, well, maybe you could get a Bo Nix or Penix Jr. at pick 13 or sorry, in the second round or something like that. But if you look at what some of these backup quarterbacks are making as well, $4 to $5 million for a backup quarterback. Even teams that may not need a quarterback might be pulling the trigger if someone fell to the second round. But I'm not. I bet you all 5 top quarterbacks go in the first round. That's just kind of what I'm thinking as of now. But Ultimate Raider fan, what's your take on it, bro?
I agree 100%, and that's the reason why I don't think we get Fields either. Not because I don't want him, because I actually think he would be a great addition. He'd be inexpensive, and it would bring in some competition for somebody I think Aiden could still potentially beat out. I don't know if people know how I feel about Aiden, but I actually like Aiden O'Connell.
I love Aiden O'Connell.
I was one of the guys that was very critical on him from start one to the end, and all I can tell you is he can progress. But the five quarterbacks, absolutely. Chicago, even if they trade out, that first pick is going to be a quarterback. Washington is picking a quarterback. New England is picking a quarterback. Atlanta is probably picking a quarterback unless they trade, right, to get Fields. But again, that's still going to be a quarterback necessary. Minnesota's picking a quarterback, and Denver is absolutely picking a quarterback. Yep. So just off of that alone, and that's without anybody else that may potentially want to just come up and make a crazy, idea out of it all. There's no way I think 5 don't go. It's just one of those years. It's a strong draft. I mean, all the way. It's
quarterback
in this draft.
It's a pretty deep quarterback draft, which is nice.
It is.
Which is nice. Because then those mid-round guys can pan out. They get competitive, man. They're competing too, man. So yeah, man, it's good. And we're gonna really get an idea once everything, the offseason kind of settles in, dude. We'll be seeing how this thing's gonna kind of shake out. We'll have a better idea too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So say we miss out, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Say we miss out on a quarterback in the draft. Here's the top 5 free agent quarterbacks of 2024: Kirk Cousins, Ryan Tannehill, Baker Mayfield if he doesn't get a contract, Gardner Minshew, Jacoby Brissett, and Jameis Winston. That's from Google, and PFF is saying the same thing. Kirk Cousins, Tannehill, Mayfield, Winston, Minshew, Jacoby Brissett. Yeah, that's it.
I think Kirk Cousins, they said, might command like $40 million a year, dude. It'd be a 2-year, $40 million. Yeah, it's going to be pricey for Kirk Cousins, but it could be worth it. But like I said, I think we're better off keeping it young, dude. Keep the young guys in, dude. And I like Brissett. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of Jacoby Brissett, dude. I like him in the RPO offense, dude. I think he could do something there, and I think he's good teammate, man. But yeah, free agent quarterback wise, man, I think we're cool kind of riding with Aiden's rookie quarterback contract for now. I think we got something there. We don't know what's going to happen with Jimmy G, but as far as that top 10 goes, man, I'm pretty much on the same page with Ultimate Raider. I think the top 3 teams will draft quarterback for sure. And Commanders, man, I think Sam Howell, did he end up like the most sacked quarterback last year? I think that guy was taking sacks. He was eating sacks. He dropped back and just eat a sack. I'm like,
they threw the ball the most. Yeah, they threw the ball the most and ran it the least. Hence why we don't want the enemy.
Yeah,
I was high on being.
We have OG Raider backstage. He's been waiting patiently, so let's pull him up, see if he's alive now. OG Raider, you there? OG Raider, you there, brother? Nope, he bounced out. All right, okay.
But I want to ask you, Ultimate Raider fan. You said you were a fan of Aiden coming in and then not a fan at the end, or the vice versa.
Oh no! I was a fan all the way around because
cool.
Well, the reason being, I mean, I've done my research on him. I know the kid is the most accurate quarterback out of Purdue, and that says a lot because we all know. I live in Texas anyway. If you didn't know, you got this guy named Drew Brees that's on the out of Westlake, and if you're beating a Drew Brees record, you're going to be decent in some way, shape, or form. That's just facts. So, I just saw the kid go from this shit is fast. Holy cow.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm doing. Taking sacks to, I'm a little bit better with it, but still getting sacked to, now I can step even though I'm slow as hell, but I can at least move and start to throw the ball to now I'm throwing it away to now I'm throwing it at people from that 8th game on. And that's what I saw. I saw the progression, and I saw the game slow down little by little. And I can assure you, when it's hitting on all cylinders without all of the dysfunction and the right people in place to get everything going, the kid could skyrocket. He really could.
I'm with you, dude. That is a great take on Aiden O'Connell. That's exactly what we're looking for, a quarterback that can slow down the game and handle the pressure. That's how we got that win. I know our defense dominated in KC, but Aiden O'Connell did not lose us that game. He does not deserve the disrespect of being called a fucking statue. It's bullshit. And I want to challenge it. I want to debate that. I'll debate that shit all off season. I love it. I love it, dude. That's exactly what we need, the mentality that we need. And that's what Derek Carr was missing.
Yeah.
That's what Derek Carr could not slow the fucking game down.
Yeah, the game was always too fast for Derek.
Yeah.
And this kid, dude, he got thrown in there. I love what AP did. He saw something in him, threw him in there, dude. And I'm telling you, man, like, I'm not recalling every pass off the top of my head, but I was at the game for the Denver game, dude. And I was on the sideline, like the 50-yard line. I saw Devontae break away, dude. And I'm watching O'Connell's feet, dude. He can see the lane, dude. And I'm like, and dude, I saw in the end zone for the Chiefs game, so I could see throwing lanes. I'm showing Chiefs fans. I'm telling Chiefs fans at that game. I'm like, dude, watch this kid throw the football, dude. And then of course, I have to watch Patrick Mahomes run around like a center fielder and throw these crazy ass throws. But I'm going, hey, dude, Aiden O'Connell, I'm watching the ball come out of Aiden O'Connell's hand, and I'm watching the ball come out of Patrick Mahomes' hand. And I'm telling you, I'm trying not to over-exaggerate or overhype the kid, but I got a good feeling about him, dude. I like him, man. And I like the situation we're in. I'm happy that we at least won 8 games this year. Man, this offseason could be big, man. So draft-wise, man, do I want one of these quarterbacks? Yes. I have a huge question mark. I'm a USC guy. I'm a huge question mark with Caleb Williams. But other than that, man, I really like Michael Penix. I'm a left-hander myself, dude, so I'm big on left-handed quarterbacks, And so Michael Penix is one.
He's got injury issues.
Yes, he does. He had two knee tears, right?
That's why your takes are so crazy. You're lefty.
Well, let me put it down like this, dude. Yeah, man, I actually score like really high in creative mindset, dude, because like I think outside the box, dude. I step outside. I always like to say, man, if I'm gonna watch something, like I'm looking at my computer screen right here. I don't have it up yet. I got to install this shit and get it all set up. But dude, I like to see things in HD. I want to see it, and so that's why I want to share what I saw at the game, man, and like. Like I'm literally like I watched Derek Carr. I went to plenty of games with Derek Carr. I predicted that I wanted the Raiders to draft Derek Carr. I said, dude, if they get Khalil Mack in the top 5, they did, and then they got Derek Carr. Dude, the only thing was by 2019, I got a little frustrated with Carr to where it's like I thought we had to bring in a backup to create that competition. Same thing with Aiden O'Connell, I feel, dude. Like bring in a backup, dude, or draft a guy, bring in that competition and let the best man win that thing and see how this thing goes. I just like how we have that guy, Antonio Pierce, who is a like player / coach, man. He can, like I said, I love those kind of decisions. I love the decision with Derek Carr in the very beginning with Dennis Allen, and Derek Carr goes after Richard Sherman and earns the starting job. I love those types of stories, man. I think that's how you build the winning formula, man. And so quarterback wise, man, I don't think we should stress on it too much with this draft until we get closer, man. It's a good topic. I think the biggest question mark for me is what they do with Jimmy Garoppolo's contract this offseason, man. This league is about money.
Yeah, I want to hop in here real quick if I could. So War Rep gets a lot of hate in the Raider Nation, but he's very passionate.
He does.
But you know what? I'm passionate too, so I love it, man. But I want to get your take on this. I want to start with Raider Ben after I read this. So War Rep said, I'm telling you guys, we're not winning with O'Connell. I think it's easy to see the NFL loves superstars. They don't look at O'Connell like that. Plus, we need everything. Has to be perfect. No way they're high. So like essentially it seems like he's saying unless you have a superstar quarterback, the NFL won't let you win. So yeah, just curious on what you guys think about that. Raider Ben, any thoughts on that, bro?
Well, that couldn't be the farthest from the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because if that was the case, Brock Purdy wouldn't be in the Super Bowl right now. You know what I mean? He ain't no superstar fucking first overall pick quarterback. You don't have to have a great quarterback in the NFL. What you got to be able to do is you got to know how to build your team the right way. You build around said quarterback. You know what I mean? You build your offensive line, you build a running game, and you insert quarterback A there. You know what I'm saying? And then wide receivers and all that shit comes in effect. But the way they do it is the way all teams should do it. And I hate the goddamn 49ers, bro. But you got to build a great defense. You got to build a great offensive line. And you gotta be able to get some fucking some playmakers, dude, guys that can make plays. But that can't be farthest from the truth, bro. In all honesty, it couldn't be farthest from the truth.
I got a quick one I gotta tell you guys, because the fun fact about myself is I do have a little bit of a cheat code, if you will, and I do have a little bit of more insight than most, and that's because I haven't actually missed a game in the stadium yet.
So you've been to Allegiant?
I have not missed a game. And I can tell.
So you've been to Allegiant Stadium since day one?
I've not even missed a preseason game inside that stadium.
Well,
first game, if you go to my channel, you'll see a lot of content from the stadium. And what I can tell you, and I can assure you guys, is the backing for Aiden O'Connell is not fake. It's real. When these guys are telling you they back him, they love him, I'm telling you it's real. You know it because you can see it on the sidelines. I've never sat anywhere else other than between C-132 and 136. The people that know what I'm talking about know it's our side. I'm right there. I have signatures from a lot of them. I'm just letting y'all know they actually care for that kid. So worst case scenario, he's going to be a good backup for us anyway. And they're going to.
And I like that.
And they're going to give him competition.
Thank you for that insight, dude. I see the same shit just by the outside looking in. I can tell just by fucking watching the guy in a press conference. This dude is supported. This dude, and not only that, he's humble, dude. He's humble, man. He's being welcomed in. I can see the welcoming party, dude. It's on. And dude, but also, like I said, so shout out to you being a season ticket. You're a season ticket holder, obviously, correct? And
nah, I don't like to sit in the same seat, so I just
So you buy a ticket. So you buy a ticket for every game, dude. So you buy a ticket.
Every year it gets better and better depending on the game, right? But yeah, sometimes. So this year I got tickets for cost like right at the game time.
So
nice. Right at game time, I'm getting that cost club seats.
Everybody tells me to do that. Everybody always tells me just show up to the damn game, get your ticket. I've met a bunch of fans that were doing the same shit.
It's a risk, though.
Hey,
right?
What I do is I get the.
Hey, where do you stay though? Where do you usually, if you don't mind me asking, where do you stay?
Anything you need.
I have a condo 2 miles away from the stadium.
Oh, cool, right on, man. Because I'm a Caesars guy, dude. So I'm going to be switching to. I've been going to Vegas for the last 25 years, dude. I was, of course, I was like, hey, if the Raiders move to Vegas, that's easy for me. But then that was hard to. I'm in Southern California. It's a 3.5 hour drive for me. So, dude. But here's the thing, dude. I was close to being a season ticket holder, man. I was going to be. My PSL was like 2,100, I think, for the Section 400s. I mean. But here's the thing. I got a question for you.
Oh my God, I'm sick for you. I'm sick for you.
I know. Well, no, hold on. I got some economical things going on though. But it was COVID, of course. So I backed out, dude. Howie Long Jr. was my rep, dude. And so but here's the thing, dude. I have a funny feeling. I have a question for you. Do you see these tickets going down in price?
No, hell no.
You don't? I got my tickets for cheap this year.
They're absolutely going to go up. That's it. This was
so I got my tickets. I got my average. So I got tickets for the Chiefs Raiders game for $160 a ticket, and then the Broncos the same, $160 a ticket. I thought I scored pretty big. I was watching those tickets; they were like $500-$600 in years past. In my eyes, from what I was in section 225, right below the torch.
That is actually a good. That's actually a really good price.
Yeah, bro. And so here's the thing. I'm fucking predicting disasters, bro. I think we're heading in the wrong way economically, bro. I'll only buy in a crash, bro. So I'm watching those PSLs that I was watching for 4,100. They're 14.5 right now. I'm waiting for those things to crash, dude. If they excel, good for the Raiders, but I only buy in a crash.
Makes sense.
And dude, 2020 was like the perfect opportunity. I had it, dude. I was going to be a season fucking ticket holder, dude. And damn, I just couldn't do it, man. But they shut down the world, dude. I just can't. You just got to make it's more. Food's more important to me.
Yeah,
and,
I remember you were going to pull the trigger too, and
I was going to pull the trigger, dude. And I was big on it, dude. And I wanted it, and not only that, but I read all the things, so I was there, dude. And but like I said, I love that feedback as far as what you're seeing at the game, sitting in those sections, and like I said, I'm enthusiastic, man. I want to go to all the games next year. I want to go to them all. I'm pumped. Like I want to go. Like I finally went to an Allegiant Stadium game where where they won. I went to SoFi this year, checked out SoFi. So it's new to me, dude. It's new to me. I do miss the older stadiums though, dude.
Yeah, I got 4 stadiums left. I got 4 left.
I wanted to get Raider Critique's opinion on this, if you guys don't mind, because he might have a little bit different take. Just knowing my homie Raider Critique, dude, one of my OG brothers up in here. But any thoughts on that? The NFL wants superstars to win Super Bowls, essentially. But you're muted, Raider Critique.
Nope. I ain't got nothing to fucking go against Goreb, dude. Goreb knows exactly what the fuck he's talking about. So I mean, I side with Goreb on this. I don't think I like AOC. But he's a backup at best at this point.
Yeah, I understand that.
But here I got one other thing though. So with superstar quarterbacks, dude, if the Raiders had the poster boy superstar quarterback, do the Raiders get to the Super Bowl and do we get calls? Right, we get calls. Yep. We get calls by referees. We get a fair shake because I don't see that happening, man. I just don't. I look at the Raiders you got to build a team of the most unique people. You got to bring the most unique football players together, dude. I think we're starting to do that, dude, because I just think you got to bring everybody together and you got to go dominate. You got to go do that what we saw on Thursday Night Football against the freaking Los Angeles Chargers. You got to be that type of team, dude, and just stomp them out of the way. And I'm hoping Aiden O'Connell's that guy, man, because I want to win in this league, dude. And I think we're always against the odds, dude. I was telling Buffalo Bills fans, I'm like, hey, dude, you guys should have been playing. If you guys would have won in the playoffs, if that wasn't the Chiefs and that was the Raiders that won the West, and the Raiders were playing on the road in Buffalo, guess what? If you missed that field goal, don't worry about it. We're offsides. They'll reset. You'll get to re-kick. Don't worry about it. So that's how I look at Raider football, and that's how I've looked at it my whole life, dude. I wanted replay in year 2000. They took so many catches away from Tim Brown, dude, and I'm like, bring in replay so everybody can see this, review it. That's actually a catch. And then they fucking screw us over on the tuck rule. And then we've seen an index card. We've seen it all. And this year, and I know the Colts outplayed us this year. Don't get me wrong. The Colts outplayed us for that playoff spot. But at the end of the game, that was a bullshit. The offsides call was way off. You could tell that Jack Jones timed it, and the ref's eyes just, and so I'm looking at this, we don't, the way we want to invest in our team. I want to invest into like more of like the Jack Jones, like how they found Jack Jones. Like get another guy like it. It looks bright. The future, dude. It looks bright with these guys because I mean, look at how fast that find was. Patriots cut Jack Jones. He comes to Raiders offense. He looks like Air Jordan as a cornerback, dude. One-handing interceptions and reading the quarterback before the plays. I mean, it's just insane what he's doing right now. And the pass deflection against Denver. He's going downfield. You're at the game, brother. You see it. He goes downfield and just. You know what I was saying to Raider fans, dude, when we were in the crowd, bro, about Aiden O'Connell, dude? I told the fans all around me, I go, hey, dude, stop criticizing this guy, dude. You know why? Right now, so we're at the 2-yard line. I go like this. If Aiden O'Connell gets us a 98-yard drive, I don't want to hear any bitching about Aiden O'Connell for the rest of this game. I don't want to hear statue. I don't want to hear he takes sacks. I want you to look at that Davante Adams throw and watch a quarterback make a beautiful pass because that was a beautiful pass in my personal opinion.
I want to say something here real quick, guys. So Raider Ben had to bounce out, but I just want to say thanks, Raider Ben, dude. It means a lot to me that you came in here and show a lot of respect to you, man. I know he said he's almost to like 5,000 subs, so if you guys could check him out, I'm going to be trying to join him on some streams coming up here. But, you know, one of the OGs, you know, with us going way back, man. So, again, just a lot of respect to Raider Ben. Had some good insight. Thanks for joining us. Someone had said something in here real quick I wanted to kind of get your guys' opinion on. He said, so shout out to Public Enemy #1 said, so what QB in the draft would be good with Getsy? Like, so right off the bat, again, this kind of ties into what we were looking at earlier, okay? So I'm going to pull this up again real quick about the teams that might need quarterbacks. So I'm going to do the what-if game. So it's, you know, a lot of it's speculative, which I don't like to always do. But we got the Broncos at number 12, the Vikings at number 11. So let's just go to the top 3, right? Let's say Caleb Williams between the Washington Commanders and the Patriots. Let's say Caleb Williams is off the board, Jaden Daniels, if we can't move up, and then Drake May. Now, my favorite quarterback in this draft personally is probably Jaden Daniels. I don't think either of these 3 teams are going to trade with anybody to move up, let alone at 13. So I think Jaden Daniels, Drake May, and Caleb Williams are going to be gone. And then it depends on obviously what Denver does. They need a quarterback, especially them getting rid of Russell Wilson in Minnesota. So that could mean that, you know, Penix Jr. and Bo Nix is gone. But looking at the scheme and Aaron Rodgers style quarterback, looking at it right now, I'm not saying I'm right, okay, because I know some people get it twisted. I'm thinking Bo Nix might be the best fit for like maybe an Aaron Rodgers style quarterback, somebody that's mobile, that can scramble, okay, but that can also throw the ball. So in that case, I would be leaning towards Bo Nix, but I don't even think Bo Nix would be available at 13, and that might be a reach at 13 for freaking going and getting Bo Nix. But let's start with, you know, Raider critique. Want to kind of hear your opinion. If you have anything to say on that, we'll pull Raider Dave back up. But any thoughts on who would be the best fit for Getsy if we were to draft somebody in this draft? Any thoughts as of now?
Not really. I mean, I'm just hoping he makes whoever he picks. You know, I want a competent quarterback, somebody who's going to be able to grasp and get the system. Hopefully the system's not going to be so complex that it'll be easy to get. So you just give me somebody who is a competent quarterback who can move the ball down the field 3 out of 4 drives, at least get us 1 touchdown. You know, something, man. Just I don't depend on Brian Hoyers or a Jimmy Garoppolo and hope to God that they don't get hurt by week 6 to where we have to rely on somebody that really was unproven, but he did a damn good job. You know, I would like, there's no savvy veterans out there right now that we're you know, unless we're going to be able to trade for somebody. So, I mean, shit, man. If all the quarterbacks are going to be gone by the time they get here, unless we trade up.
And we'd have to give a king's ransom, dude, to frickin', you know, we'd be trading away our future to move up in this draft. Hey, one question though with Getsy.
I mean, I wouldn't mind getting paid the salary for doing this job, and I'm glad that I do not have this job, and that's why Tom Telesco and AP and everybody else, Mark Davis, makes the money they do because they've got to make the decisions like this.
3-headed monster, guys. I'll repeat it until it's fixed or until it's done, said and done, or whatever. Then I'll be Monday quarterback kind of dude. But offensive coach.
After seeing what Mark did with Kingsbury, All right, man, you got to watch out for Mark. Sorry, but that dude sometimes will not give enough money. Don't he? From what I hear, Kingsbury had the nod from AP and Telesco, and then Mark opened his mouth. That's all I'm saying.
What I heard is that he wanted a 3-year deal. Raiders were only willing to give him a 2-year deal. I don't hate that. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know that. Like, I love Antonio Pierce, but like, we can't keep leveraging 5-10-year contracts for something we don't know if it's going to work. Give them a shot. Let them continue to earn their way, and let's not be captive to certain contracts that's going to limit us for other options. I'm a kind of person where like I'm not always right, but obviously, but like let's just have options on the table. I want plan A, plan B, plan C, and if we explore all those avenues, if a door shuts, whatever, so be it. Next door opens, But Raider Dave, what were you gonna say, bro?
Hey, I was going to say one thing, with Getsy, man, one thing, I'm not trying to credit him for this, but they did have, and he beat our ass in a game. They did have an undrafted rookie dude who was a D2 quarterback who was playing pretty good for a couple games. So, I mean, there's another positive. I'm just squeezing out, like I said, is the juice worth the squeeze, dude? We got to find all the positives right here for our freaking our new OC, man. Because I got it. Like I said, my positive is young guy, and like I said, he did work with an undrafted. But like I said, it's the NFL, man. It's being creative. My ideal candidate for the OC position all along was Eric Bieniemy, man. Anything we can do to stack up against the Chiefs, and it looked like it was going that way. I woke up this morning kind of expecting us to be having some interviews with Eric Bieniemy. It sounded like there was a phone call, I guess. But other than that, and then you saw the Getsy hire this morning. So yeah, man, I thought we were going in that direction. So, but being positive, yeah, man, I'm just on that age. And then, like I said, just don't really know what to say. I mean, his resume is pretty short, dude. So it's not like we're getting like a proven guy or like the guy that changes the offense. We just got to kind of hope for the best, man. We're going to kind of string this one along, it looks like. And like I said, as far as team meetings, teams in the draft, they're going to, quarterback's going to be a big priority in this year's draft, man. But, like I said, there's going to be corners too. And, I always like the players that fall. Last year, I really liked CJ Stroud. I've been totally stoked if we would have traded up to get him. But this year, I was a fan of Caleb Williams going into the season, dude. And I started watching USC football again, dude. And then I was getting accused of jinxing it. I went to a poker party, bro. Everybody's got their USC gear. We're fucking having a good time. And I have my USC beer, and I'm trying to get back into being a fan for USC. But ever since by the way, just so everybody knows, ever since the NCAA had their stupid fucking, where they took Reggie Bush's Heisman Trophy away, that I take that kind of stuff personal, stupid, and I thought they screwed over USC in the worst way. But anyway, long story short, I don't know about Caleb Williams. What do you guys think? He's going to be probably the number one pick. I don't know if he's going to be that good in the NFL, man.
I think so, but I want to hear Ultimate Raiders fan take on maybe scheme. Like if you were to look at the draft and maybe somebody that might fit the Getsy offensive coordinator scheme, anybody you're looking at that stands out to you, bro?
Yes, based on what we're looking at, right? I'll be honest, I'm not a Bo Nix fan. I'm not a Bo Nix fan. One of the main reasons is because he feels like he's been in college for 10 years. So I'm sometimes considered a hater. But there are some other guys that can be drafted in their natural position, if you will, even if we don't get them in the first round. The one that comes to mind, I'm not a fan of. But I'm not a fan of him based on his on-the-field play, if you will, and the ability to move forward. And that's the kid that came out of that show on television, Spencer Rattler from South Carolina.
He was in the Senior Bowl the other day, right?
He was the best quarterback in the Senior Bowl, period. I don't think anybody would deny it. I think he'll be available. I don't think he'll be one of the 5 picked first. And there's something potentially there. If you're looking for some nuggets or somebody.
Who is that you said? Sorry, say it again.
Spencer Rattler.
Okay, I want to pull up that comment. That was the next. Sorry, go ahead. That was the next comment I wanted to get to. I know we got some people that topped in here. Vince Cunningham, dude, appreciate you, dude. Shout out to you. Snoops, want to pull up his comment too. Because I know some people want me to give him a shout out, so I appreciate that. Everybody join in. Robert, appreciate you. Snoop Hernandez, dude. SNOOPZ. And then anybody else, man, I'm sorry. Oh, Dizzy, Gunner, shout out to you. Hopefully I got everybody. I know we got Gord Peterson. So we got a good live chat, man. So I appreciate that. Someone had said something about Deion Sanders' son. I think that'd probably be more of a next year thing.
Yeah, he's not coming out.
The Spencer Rattler one, if I can find that comment here, I was just looking at it. But the Spencer Rattler one's a good one, dude. I think, you were kind of hitting on some stuff. And so my question would be, if we go the Spence Rattler option, he did pretty well in the Senior Bowl. Not saying a first round pick, but what round draft pick do you guys think he would go in? And would you be willing to pull the trigger on him if, say, second round Raiders are up and maybe Spencer's available? Raider Critique, what's your thoughts on Rattler, bro?
I don't know who he is, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I don't watch college ball, dude.
No, at least you're being honest. He was in. I forget what college he came from. He was in the Senior Bowl and he really shined. He did pretty good in the Senior Bowl, and he's mobile. I would put him. Remember, my categories for quarterbacks now, subject to change, but where I'm at right now is pocket passer, okay, scrambler quarterback, mobile quarterback, and then running quarterback. Spencer Rattler at least seemed at this point to me, at least in the Senior Bowl, where he's a mobile / running style quarterback. You might even put him in mobile / scrambler, but he's definitely got some athletic skills for what the more modern NFL is looking for. So that was kind of where he was at as far as maybe the outside looking in the Senior Bowl. But he did some good stuff, man. He ended up being, I forget what they call it, but it was almost like the MVP of the Senior Bowl. So he shined more
insight.
Go ahead.
I was just going to give you more insight on him. So it was the high school show. It was the high school show that was on Netflix. That's where he came out of, and he started his college career in Oklahoma. But he got biggied, as I like to call it, by Caleb Williams, right? Caleb Williams went to Oklahoma and took his job. So he kind of bounced off, and then that's how he ended up in South Carolina. But he showed a poor attitude in that high school show. One of those cocky, arrogant, what you want in your quarterback, but not to the extent he tried to portray, and just caught a bad rep from that, which is why I say I don't like him for that particular reason. And, I'd take that with a grain of salt. If the kid came on our team and started balling, I'd love it. And in fact, I'd tell him to be more of himself. So it is what it is, right? But he is definitely an option. Yeah, I've known the kid from day one. Again, it's just I didn't like the attitude.
I'll be honest, I didn't know much about Spencer Rattler until the Senior Bowl, but he looked like he has potential. I'm not saying first round pick, but second, third round pick. But again, there's a lot of backup quarterbacks, guys, are making $4 to $5 million per year.
Yes.
There's going to be teams that pull the trigger early, whether it's the first round or second round. So even if a guy should be a third round, teams are going to pull the trigger early. But Raider Dave, I don't know if you've watched Spencer Rattler at all and have any thoughts on that, but go ahead, bro.
Did catch my attention. I'm just not sold yet. Because like I said, it's for me, dude, draft wise, it's still early because there's so much that comes out of the draft when it gets with these guys' stories to inside information that's going to start to come out as we get closer to the draft and all that. I just think we're going to see a completely different outlook. And I'm still curious if the Raiders are going to go with a high investment with that 13th overall pick, if trading up or even taking a quarterback there, if they even go that high, taking a quarterback. We don't see the Raiders draft quarterbacks in the first round very often, man. And I think, I don't want to bring up the last one. I think that was drafted, and so like I said, I was on board with that. I'll be straight up, dude. I was like, hey, dude, I thought Jamarcus might have been something in the end back then, but that was back then. And, but dude, I'm not just right now, dude. I think the Raiders, dude, at 13, man, I mean, dude, there could be a defensive tackle that rises in stock. There could be, there could be a lot of risers that we're not talking about right now for a key position to fill, like defensive tackle, offensive line, depending on, we're probably going to, I say we keep going versatile on offensive linemen, get more Dylan Parhams in the mix, dude. I love that pick by Ziegler, by the way. So yeah, man, I'm quarterback wise, man. It's hard for me to, when I do drafts, I'm always looking mid round. Like last year, I wasn't watching Aiden O'Connell. I listened, I had my ears open. I was listening about Aiden O'Connell, but I wasn't He wasn't a guy I was watching. I was watching Dorian Thompson-Robinson, man. He was like if we weren't going to get CJ Stroud and trade up, it was like Dorian Thompson-Robinson was like my backup plan. So yeah, man. So like I'm all for getting a guy like in the mid rounds, dude. You know what I mean? Like seeing who falls, who loses value. But like, yeah, man, I don't know on him yet. I just don't, have a full take on him yet.
All right, so I want to bring up a quick topic. Let's transition to my guy, Hendon Hooker, because I can't do a show without talking about my guy. And I know I'm going to get hate. I know it. I ain't letting it go. I said in the draft, I'm not letting it go. I freaked out. But when the Raiders got Byron Young in the 3rd round, we could have moved up 2 spots to get Hendon Hooker. He wouldn't have been a difference this year, but he would have been healthy at the end of the season or going into this next season. So I love you, Ultimate Raiders fan, but I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. When we were on Protect the Shield, you were saying, and it's all good. We ain't got to agree, okay? I'll be respectful.
Of course, absolutely.
But so you had said, and other people may have the same take that, my guy Hendon Hooker is not a freaking mobile quarterback, right? And so I'm going to pull this up here real quick. Make sure I share it so everybody can see it. And we're going to look at the rushing yards at first, okay?
What's going on?
So I'm going to give and shout out to everybody in the chat. If I haven't said what up to anybody, I apologize. But Clark Ario, salute. Vince Cunningham, and then Aunt Six. That's one of my dogs.
Right. You did start at Virginia Tech. I forgot about that.
So appreciate that, man. Everybody tuning in here. I know we're a little long-winded, but kind of just want to go over one of my opinions on this and then get your guys' take as well. So, all right. So Virginia Tech. All right, let's go over this is just his rushing yards, okay? Look at this right here. 356, 2019, okay? And then we had 620, 2020, 620 again, and then 430. But keep in mind, this last year in Tennessee, the 430, he got hurt. I think it was the last game or last couple of games of the season. But you look at the 2 previous years, 620 per game. I mean, that's not necessarily a bad running stats. That's not so much to where he'd be a running style quarterback, but 620 divided by 10 games or something, I think it is. I mean, it's about, I don't know, we'll say 60 something yards per game on average. So that's a mobile style quarterback, So like my main point on this is just that he can run. Not saying you want your quarterback to be running all the time, but he's got legs and he can use them. And if you watch the tape, they even schemed to do a lot of almost like RPOs where run pass option where he could run the ball. And then let's look at Hendon Hooker's stats as far as passing goes, okay? Before I ask you guys this question, besides just looking at the stats and stuff. So the 2 things that really stand out for me for Hendon Hooker, one of the reasons why I really wanted him is look at the interception ratio, guys. 2 freaking interceptions in his last year with Tennessee Vols, and then 3 the year before, and even with Virginia Tech, 5. So he's not throwing a ton of interceptions, Not the best passer rating, but you look at it like, and then my main 2 things why I really liked Hendon Hooker, guys, was 2 things. One, he got trained up by Peyton Manning, and he's athletic. So he's a mobile style quarterback, but he does 2 things that I like that Aiden O'Connell needs to adapt if he's going to be a possibility for the Raiders, whether it's a backup or a starter. That's 1, quicker feet, right? So you look at Peyton Manning, he did foot drills, all this stuff, and this is stuff I'm going to hammer home that Aiden O'Connell needs to pick up as far as freaking, being able to have that skill set. So he needs to have quicker feet because his feet are almost like cinder blocks. And then 2, he stares down wide receivers. And the Peyton Mannings, any pocket passer, not just Aiden O'Connell, they can't stare down wide receivers like we've seen with Derek Carr for too many years. It leads to a lot of interceptions. You have to master looking one direction and at the last millisecond throwing the ball at your target if you're not mobile and have a more athletic skill set, right? So my question to you guys, that long-winded thing, I would be, if we're going the Justin Fields route, right, which is like a running / mobile style quarterback. And I say running because Justin Fields is like rushing for 800 to 1,000 yards per season. So it's like having an additional running back. If we're going to go the Justin Fields route, I personally, as a Raider fan, don't like having your starter, Justin Fields, being running quarterback and your backup being more of a pocket passer. I think it's 2 schemes that are completely different. And I'm going to hammer this home all off season. And I don't like, it's almost like we'd have to have 2 different playbooks. So if we're going Justin Fields route, I would propose we look to the Lions to get my guy Hendon Hooker, who can be a mobile style quarterback, which is a lot closer to Justin Fields as plan B. So you have plan A, Justin Fields, plan B, Hendon Hooker. And then at that point, we trade Aiden O'Connell to the Lions for like maybe a 4th round draft pick, and we get Hendon Hooker because the Lions only have Jared Goff for one more year under contract. And so they're either going to give Jared Goff a contract this year or next year. And if they don't, they're kind of crazy because Jared Goff has done pretty damn good. Maybe they know that Hendon Hooker is a diamond in the rough or a potential franchise quarterback. But I think the Lions are probably going to give Jared Goff a contract, meaning there's no reason for them to have Hendon Hooker. And if you can give him a 4th-round draft pick, that might be a difference maker more now, and we give him Aiden O'Connell, then we get Hendon Hooker. So the reason why I propose that is because if you bring in Justin Fields and he like say he doesn't do good, right? Justin Fields don't do good, and then we only got him for a 1 year. Say we have to trade a 2nd-round draft pick. We only have him for a 1 year rental, and then either we give him the 5th year option or offer him a contract. If he don't produce, we have to look to plan B. And I just don't personally like the scheme fit for Aiden O'Connell and Justin Fields. If we did what I'm saying, I'm all for bringing on Justin Fields. Not saying I'm correct, but let's start with Dave and get your opinion. If you would be willing to trade Aiden O'Connell and a 4th-round draft pick for Hendon Hooker if we were to go for a Justin Fields style quarterback and scheme fit.
Well, yeah, dude. Hendon Hooker's an intriguing prospect, of course, dude. We haven't seen him on the field yet in the NFL. I think him and Fields, though, I think Hendon Hooker's more of a passer. In my personal opinion, he can run, dude. He can run, but when you pull up those stats, one thing to pay attention to those averages, dude. He's at there was a lot of 3-yard averages, 5-yard averages. So on those rushings where you have each rushing, I think that's passing, right? That you have up. So his pass attempt, just average number right there, yards at attempt. He's dominating with that number right there. That dominates his rushing average number. So it shows that, which I like. You want your quarterback to be more of a passer than a runner. You want him to be able to see things down the field and complete passes to wide open wide receivers, because there's a lot of wide open receivers in the NFL that we don't see the television to catch everything. So there's a lot of activity going on. One of the things this year, as far as Hendon Hooker goes, man, I'd be all for it. I want a quarterback that's going to utilize the tight end position. Man, I thought we were bad at that this year. I thought Michael Mayer has something there, and we should have been feeding him the football. A lot of that goes on Josh McDaniels early on in the season. They were not getting the football to the tight end, not using Austin Hooper, not using Michael Mayer like they should have. But yeah, man, like I said, I have no issue with Hendon Hooker, like the guy. At what value? That's the key thing. What would Detroit, if Detroit was to trade him, what value would they trade him at? Because I personally think they're going to lock up Goff, man. I think Goff has a future. Leading into the
last thing I forgot to mention real quick, not to interrupt you, I apologize, but Aiden O'Connell fits a Jared Goff scheme a lot closer than Hooker does, in my opinion, right?
Of course.
And real quick, Raider Critique, he said he had to bounce, man. I appreciate you coming on here, bro. I know you had family plans, but it was great to chop it up with you, man. Going old school stuff right here with me, you, Raider Critique, Raider Dave, and then of course we had Ultimate Raider Fan pulling up in here. But just your thoughts. I know we kind of heard it the other night, but I just want to revisit it again. You don't have to agree with me, dude. I want everybody to have their own opinion. But Hendon Hooker, if you were to trade Aiden O'Connell, so you get the Justin Fields, Aiden O'Connell trade, and either a 4th or I would say 5th-round draft pick if you give up Aiden O'Connell. Just your thoughts on scheme and what you'd like to see the Raiders do if we go after Justin Fields.
Yeah, if we did that would definitely make more sense than keeping Aiden O'Connell. I don't think it would make sense at all to keep Aiden O'Connell. If that's the style and scheme we plan on doing for the future, absolutely. But with that being said, I don't think that we've seen the best of Fields because he's had to run for his life so much at the Bears. Yeah. So can he be a good pocket passer? Possibly. But what goes against him is that there's too many times he's missed, right? Or hasn't read the defense properly. And maybe again, right, not having the time. Those are things we just don't know and can't really analyze or justify whether he can or can't.
Right.
So, that's tough, man. But I think Hendon Hooker actually meshes more with Aiden O'Connell and a different.
Yeah, he's got an arm.
You know what I'm saying? It would be those two more so than Hendon and Fields. You know what I mean? Because like Dave is saying, Hendon is a pass first guy. I agree with you that he can run.
He whips the ball nicely too. I don't like his arm, dude. I like him. He's good. I like how he whips it, man.
That he can run the ball, but that's not what he does. He is a passing guy. I would say Mahomes is more of a running first guy than he is. You know what I mean? To be honest, I like his style. I just don't know if it's going to fit based on what Getsy is trying to do. I really don't know Getsy's scheme, to be honest. I've never paid
man.
It's hard to figure out. No, you're right. It's hard to figure out unless you look at like I was trying to do earlier is like you look at like his history with the Packers, and the only thing I keep thinking of is Aaron Rodgers, and finding an Aaron Rodgers quarterback is hard. I'm not saying Justin Fields is Aaron Rodgers by any means, but you know, it's almost like you almost want, if that's the scheme he's going to go with his history, mainly with the Packers, it almost seems like he's going to want a mobile / scrambler style quarterback. And maybe if we did do a Justin Fields, maybe he can adjust Justin Fields to be more like less of a running style, more of a mobile / scrambler. And, you know, so with that being said, bring up Raider Dave here, but what would you give up to get Justin Fields? Do you think he's worth a second round pick, or would you only give up a third round pick? But, you know, thoughts on that?
For me, it's a third round pick, man, because dude, you're factoring in the Ohio State quarterback that really doesn't succeed in the NFL recently, dude. Despite CJ Stroud having Rookie of the Year, man. I mean, it's like and I'm a fan. Every year, I'm a fan of an Ohio State quarterback. Don't get me wrong. I'm like, hey, dude, Dwayne Haskins, yeah, dude, I'm considering him, dude. You know, we were picking in the top 5, I think, that year, so I'm gonna look at that. You know, CJ Stroud, I mean, dude, you know what's crazy about CJ Stroud? I just compared his passing style to me in college, not in the pros. But when he was in college, man, at Ohio State, he looked like Derek Carr kind of throwing the football at times, you know, in the pocket. But going to Justin Fields, man, I've always liked Fields, you know, but I don't know, man. I don't know if like, you know, with the offensive coordinator, like that's another thing, like with this offensive coordinator, man, it's just mainly looking at his ceiling because his resume is so small. And there was a point I wanted to hit on it, but it was off topic. I apologize. It was a question that I had for you guys as far as his development and what could be good moving forward. But yeah, man, it's for me, like, you know, I know it's a big rumor right now with Fields, but like me at best, a third round pick, dude, if I'm going that route. And I don't want to go with a new contract either. I don't see sometimes if you make that trade, the player has to, sometimes the agent gets involved and he's like, hey dude, or not, what am I saying? He's not, hey dude, he's like, the agent gets involved and he's looking for like a new contract for his player. And that's kind of part of the deal to get to them to agree to a trade. So, yeah, man, I'm gonna kind of let that one kind of ride and see. But for me, at best, third round value, man.
I like it. Ultimate Raider fan, draft pick for Fields. What are you willing to give up, bro?
Third at best. I think we can get him for a fourth, personally. If they're going, so think about it. What are they gonna do if they draft a quarterback? And hey, shout out to Rick L, man. I like a lot of his takes, especially the one about being drafting Fasano out of the first round with Penn State. I think that's exactly that right tackle, period. I don't care what we do. Get that guy. We can't screw that pick up. So I agree with you on that. But yeah, he's a real one. He's got some great takes. But yeah, I think we'll get him for a fourth. Right? Think about it. If they're gonna get rid of him, we know everyone knows they're picking a quarterback first. So why would you give much of anything?
I feel you're a little bit like me, where it's like the devil's advocate, right? Like where you like to weigh all sides, and I'm kind of like I'll be honest, guys. I don't want to toot anybody's horn while you're on here or whatever, but that's how I am. Like sometimes I'm very strong opinionated, right? And I'll like die on the sword with some like certain opinion, and sometimes I'm wrong, sometimes I'm right. But I just want to say like any like us and Raider Nation like to explore different like avenues, like I like that, so when I look at it and when we kind of went over, teams that might either be quarterback needy, someone might pull the trigger and be willing to give up something more than a fourth, right? And I'm not exactly disagreeing with you. Someone might be like, you know what, I'll take Justin Fields for a 1-year rental for a second round. And so, like there might be someone besides the Raiders looking at Justin Fields thinking, hey, if we can go up a second or third round, we're a quarterback away. Or if they feel like they're a quarterback away,
it's not a bite. It's the Falcons. They're going to get. He's from Atlanta, so that's the other reason why I don't think we're going to get him, even if they do trade.
I could. You're probably right. I could see a team probably giving up a second, and I don't like that as a Raiders fan. I don't think we just have too many holes on this team to give up a second round pick this year. Maybe if it was like next year or something like that. Or like maybe if we did a third this year and something else for like next year, I might be a lot more on board with that. But if that's plan A, like I said, I want plan B to be a little bit closer to the mark than Aiden O'Connell. And I like Aiden O'Connell, but it just brings me to the scheme thing, the three-headed monster. And I just think that the scheme may not be the best fit. It's like, if we're going to do that, explore the Kirk Cousins route if Aiden O'Connell's plan B, and if we're going to go, Aiden O'Connell plan A, then maybe we just wait and see if like a Bo Nix or Penix Jr. falls to us at 13 overall.
Right. And use those picks for something that we need. Absolutely right.
One thing to give with Getsy and his unknown, future, with his like I said, with that at the professional level with his resume, working with Fields, we got to remember the players do reflect these guys' success from the coaching standpoint. Players make these coaches great coaches, man. And for the most part, I mean, coaches got to be organized. They got to have a plan and everything. But I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, it's the players, man. And so, like, Justin Fields, he struggled, man. And is that a full reflection of Getsy? We're going to find out this year, man. We're going to find out this year. We're going to see if there's things that we like, man. And we saw it was crazy. Like, Bo Hardegree, I thought he did pretty good, man. I mean, there was the times where you saw it, like, okay, what are we doing right here? The Colts game was a disaster. But yeah, man, like I think there's still that, it's just that there's so much unknown with our new offensive coordinator, man. I mean, he's got experience. We got to embrace that. But man, I really think getting the right players and getting the right mix of players, and also when it comes to prototype quarterback, I think having, all options available, dude. If it's a mobile quarterback, pocket passer, I think either which way, each guy can improve each other in practice. I mean, one guy's whipping the ball, one guy's whipping the ball and running with the football, So like, yeah, man, I think no matter what, every year, kind of what I was saying earlier is with today's concussion protocol, man, I think you just got to have them. You have to have access to quarterbacks on your roster because they can make a decision on the sideline and put your guy in the tent. And, we saw the Texans lose C.J. Stroud. If I was a fan of the Texans and my quarterback that we drafted, invested, traded up, he gets him put in a concussion protocol, yeah, man, it's like those are the things we have to consider now.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right, man.
And then if you don't go that route, you got to hope. And I hate saying this, man, because I did lose some respect for Patrick Mahomes being a crybaby about the offsides call, dude. They were fucking crying. That's bullshit. They were offsides. They get the calls and they're crying about it. But I have a ton of respect for Patrick Mahomes playing on a bad knee last year. If we had a quarterback that didn't give a shit about his career and gave a shit about winning. And I should say the players should care about their career. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. But give a fuck about winning. You're on the field, dude. You're going to get hurt. If you're worried about getting hurt, you're going to get hurt. If you're not worried about getting hurt, you're going to play the game. You're going to enjoy the game. And that's why I see Patrick Mahomes. I saw him do that last year. I didn't see him do that this year. Last year, they hit that knee, dude. They didn't inject that knee or anything. That dude willed his way to that Super Bowl. And like I said, if we have a quarterback, if we get the quarterback, like I'll put it this way, like, would you trade your whole future draft to get Caleb Williams? I wouldn't. I'm not sold on it. Is Caleb Williams going to play on a bad knee? I have a huge question for Caleb. Would you play on a bad knee, Caleb? Would you do it? Would you wreck your knee to win? Like I said, these are the type of players, and it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but Max Crosby, we saw what he did this year. His knee was fucking the size of a freaking ostrich egg, dude. I mean, dude, the guy went out there. I was at that game. That's the Chiefs game. You were there too, bro. So, but you had better seats. Dude, Max Crosby was a game time decision. 25% that he was going to play that day, and he played, dude, because he was the first doubtful player I think to play that day. And so that we need that infectious personality of Max Crosby and the others that are feeding off of that to feed onto the quarterback position. And so if we do go with a high investment of a draft pick for a quarterback, man, I want the guy that's going to lay it all on the line, dude.
Well,
because concussion protocol.
No, I'll tell you this. There is a reason why I would move up. I'm not moving up for 3 first-rounders for anybody. But I would move up for 2 first-rounders and some other collateral damage, right? Obviously, none of our superstars. But I would do it for Jaden Daniels. And the reason
I like Jaden Daniels. I agree.
reason why I would do it for Jaden Daniels is the same reason you're seeing what Jack Jones is doing for his guy right now. Anyone that's played the game knows and understands when you get a player that plays for you, when they will literally give their life on the field for you as the coach.
Yep.
And that is what Jaden Daniels is going to do for Antonio Pierce.
I am with you 100%. I'd be all for that, dude.
I'd be willing to go up to the top and give up 2 first-rounders and everything else necessary in order to get Jaden Daniels, only because I know that's AP's guy. That's it.
And I'm with you 100%, dude. I would definitely do that pick as well. And not to discount Jaden Daniels on my take. He's been my favorite quarterback the entire season going into the offseason. I love the fact that he was in the locker room with the team. So there's something there. Yeah, there's something there, dude. And there's a commitment. And just like we were saying, dude, we're on the same page.
They were at Arizona State together.
They're at Arizona State together. So the resume, there's a record, there's a track record. And same with Jack Jones. They had a history together as well. I think AP recruited Jack Jones, or he recruited Jaden Down, one of the two.
He played with him in high school, and he was his coach in high school, and he was his coach in college for Jack Jones.
Yeah, and Jack Jones, man, as far as cornerback, man, he's one of the better Raider cornerbacks I've seen in the last 15, 20 years, man. And like
the best one. He may be the best.
Dude, he is sick. He's a legit corner, and there's more corners coming out in this draft. So, man, I'm with you 110%, dude. We need to really feed off of these players that want to play football, man. And I don't mean to discount money in this league, because this league is really built around money and gambling and fantasy football and all that stuff. And we're seeing, so man, you want the guys that can wait on the line.
You would love my take on Josh Jacobs, and just to give you a little bit more background, I was a running back through college. I played at Montana University, and I'm very passionate about my running backs, right? And
me too,
I felt like Josh Jacobs had the ability to be the best Raider running back ever, and when you say that,
I agree.
That in itself already puts that player at God status, because that means you're putting him above Bojack, Market, all the greats that are Raider running. Not many other teams even have a running back, all time that can even touch some of our third, fourth running backs as far as Raiders are concerned. That kid had the ability to be the best of them all, and he disregarded it for cash. And
you know what, bro? These agents, man.
If you saw my take on it, because it burns me up, because I know for a fact when he looks back at that, because he blew this whole year based on not being ready. Those 4 games, it takes you 4 games to get ready in the NFL if you don't go through training camp.
Yes, and bro, I have one other question.
It hurt my heart, man. It hurt my heart.
So, as a former running back, and much respect to your background, man. I played all through high school. I tried for a community college, man. But I played free safety. That was my position, cornerback, free safety, but as a running back, man, what do you think of the number change too, dude? That one kind of like, see, those are the little things kind of, I'm like, dude, I got a number 28 jersey, bro. Like I'm off of that 28. You got the 28, bro. Let's go dominate. You dominated with it. Like, so is the number, like, is that, it's always been my number was 42, and then I used the reciprocal, 24 for Charles Woodson.
Yeah. Marcus Allen, I've worn number 32 my whole life, and in fact, it actually was in my contract going to Montana State, because the kicker had my number 32. So I was like,
You went to Montana State, you said? Oh shit, I lived in Montana for a hot minute, dude. So Montana State, is that the Grizzlies or is that the Bearcats? Bozeman. Okay, yeah.
Bobcats.
Yeah, nice, dude. It gets cold up there, bro.
It gets super cold.
Oh, bro. Dude, I was running back as well. I'll tell you, it's this guy's fault down here, down in the bottom, Raider Dave.
Yeah.
It's his fault. I got back into card collecting, and the most cards I have is Josh Jacobs, man. I love JJ, man.
Me too.
That's my dog, dude. Like
I adore him. And that's why another reason why I'm so critical of him. You know what I mean? You know how you got that person that was always on your ass because they loved you the most. That's how I feel with Josh Jacobs. I really adore him, and I thought he had the ability to be the best ever. I mean, it's almost impossible at this point. But
he still does if he was to come back, but it's going to be a big contract. I want to pull this up real quick for you guys.
Yeah.
He should have broke it, but with the injury, he wasn't able to. This damn pop-up blocker.
One other thing I wanted to bring up, though, dude, since we're talking running back, dude, but the cool thing, man, and I know this is a good feeling to have, man, you having a running back history and knowing the position very well, but like if we did keep Josh Jacobs this year, we're able to re-sign him, man, having a Georgia back and an Alabama back, that's always a good combo right there.
Hey,
absolutely.
As I pull this up here real quick. All right, Jacobs is 362 yards from being second on the all-time rushing leader list. Marcus Allen has it, and I don't know that Jacobs could break number one, but he was right there on track, dude, to break the record because I was watching it all season long. And then for touchdowns, he's at 46 right here, and I think someone has like 47. Yeah, right here. Pete Bonanzac. Oops, sorry.
Right.
Pete Bonanzac has 47. So if Jacobs was to do another year with the Raiders, why is this thing? Good Lord. Jacobs only needs 2 more rushing touchdowns, and he'll beat Pete Bonanzac. Meaning, if Jacobs had just 1 more year with the Raiders, he'd be second all-time rushing leader, for the Raiders, and then second for touchdowns. So, but catching Marcus Allen, dude, you'd have to spend a lot of years, and the running backs aren't valued like they used to be. But I'm with you, man. I was pretty as much as I love JJ, I was a little disappointed, but a lot of it, in my opinion, was on the offensive line. When you're getting hit in the backfield with 1 or 2 guys before you even hit the line of scrimmage, it's going to be tough, man, for you to have a good run game. So
there was a lot going on, right? The
part of it's on JJ, maybe not being there for training camp, but part of it's on this offensive line. But if we have the 3-headed monster taken care of, meaning offensive coordinator, scheme, quarterback, and they scheme correctly, I still think even if Jacobs is like 9, 10, maybe 12 mil a year, I know he might want a little like on the higher end for a contract, but I think he can still be a difference maker to help us win a championship. And let's not forget, Jacobs is the last piece from the Khalil Mack trade. That was the first pick we got out of the draft when we traded Khalil Mack to the Bears, and Jacobs is the last standing piece to that Khalil Mack trade. So I almost want him to work out also because of that, because I would love for him to work out. But when we look at some of the other things we need on this team, like offensive line, which is one of the other things I wanted to talk about, but I'm not sure it makes sense to give Jacobs a contract depending on what this scheme is going to be.
3 years, 34 million, 30 guaranteed.
34 divided by 3.
Is that the one that he turned down, or is that what you think he's going to get offered?
No, I'm saying that's what I would offer him. I'd give him 10 million.
Because he turned down, because what did they offer him last year? Was it like, it was 3 years, like 27 mil or something like that they offered him? And he declined that one. And then, so I want to keep this Jacobs conversation rolling for a bit real quick, because the running back market is interesting, dude. And we saw Dalvin Cook get cut last year, man. And I thought Dalvin Cook's a pretty damn good running back. And so with all that said, man, we got Austin Eckler, who's probably, I think, more of the most intriguing running back prospect out there. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree with that, but and you got Derrick Henry out there. I mean, but he's older, but you got I think Austin Eckler should be the youngest guy out there. Maybe
Eckler is the guy. Wherever he goes,
I think,
they're going to be.
Yeah, so I'm thinking he could set the running back market if he gets a deal. That's if he gets a deal. You don't think he's getting a deal?
Well, the problem is, so this is why I'm saying 10 million, because that's going. I mean, people are going to be like, "Why are you doing that, stupid?" Because the fact of the matter is, the reality is, you can get a freaking Pacheco in the 7th round.
Of course, absolutely.
That's every year. That's every year moving forward. Look, you're talking to a next running back. This is
and you've watched these committee of running backs over the years destroy us.
And all I can tell you is just. Running backs are a dime a dozen. They really are. It's just facts. You can find a pretty good running back.
I'm going to interject here, bro, because I'm going to disagree a little bit. Let's not forget, the previous coaching staff didn't even offer Jacobs a contract until 2 weeks before the deadline. It was like last minute, guys. So they slapped Josh Jacobs in the face, bro. Like, right? And
But imagine this hardcore though, dude. Imagine
I don't want to come off the handle. Last year, like all I wanted was like this coaching staff to make some different decisions, and the Josh Jacobs thing. It was like my main thing. Like I died on that sword, right? And then I'd been wrong to a degree with Jacobs, but we also switched the offensive line scheme. We went from a power scheme to like a man blocking scheme,
right?
To like a zone scheme, which hurt Jacobs and stuff like that. So. But my main point is this: if you have a superstar running back and you're going to slap him in the face with last minute contract, and it's not, they weren't even offering him, in my opinion. I'm not saying give the kitchen sink for Jacobs, but they weren't even offering him much of a contract, bro. So they disrespected Jacobs, and then they expected everything to be cool, and Jacobs showed up like kind of last minute and shit. But let's not forget that the previous coaching staff completely fucking missed on this shit, bro. And Jacobs said if Antonio at the end of the season, Jacobs is like, hey, if Antonio Pierce is the coach, I'm willing to stay. I want to stay. I want to play for that coach, which kind of brings us back to what, all of us have said. And Raider Dave was saying earlier, which is players that want to play for your coach, essentially.
Right. Absolutely.
So the point is, like, we'll get more out of Jacobs if we give him a 2 to 3 year contract. And I think he's maybe 26. I'd have to double check on that. But it's not like he's super old. Running backs don't lose their oomph until like 29 to 30.
I was just going to say 29 is the magic number, and he's 26. So I would give him a 3-year contract. I'd give him a 3-year contract.
3 years, which is why I'm in the 1 to 3 year game plan, because I think Jacobs could help us win a championship. It was more on the offensive line that pissed me off than it was Jacobs. I think Jacobs did give a lackluster effort at times, if I'm being real.
Can I say something?
There's no way you can get in shape, man, at the beginning of the season without.
That was my key question. That's my.
Bro, he played so there are so many games you go back and you look, you can see where he's mad. He's mad because he knows, damn it, if I
remember that. Yeah,
normally was, I would have been gone. I would have so many plays. He's mad at himself. And again, you can't discount what training camp does. You can't be mad at the offensive lineman for not being able to gel with the guy in the back, and he's not there. That's not their fault.
But the offensive, you're right. But the
reps are so important.
We're talking about no money. No, we're talking just straight up football.
I know, but the offensive line were letting guys blow past them, bro. Like they were hitting.
No, I understand, but it's also like you said, the scheme wasn't there yet. Carmen Brasilia was not the guy. He was garbage. He was trash.
Right.
He should be gone. He is gone. And that was the problem, on top of the fact that he wasn't in shape. He wasn't football ready. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying he was sitting at home eating donuts. I can assure you the man did everything he could. There's just no way to replicate training camp.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I want to, can I jump off that real?
There's no way you can get prepared for that without doing it. It's impossible.
Because especially at the NFL level, dude, reps, off-season reps, and like how you condition your body. But when you get on the field, and I'm not a running back, I did not play running back, but I know that, when November comes around, your body changes. It's in a different type of shape. You're in football shape by November. If you're going full speed, nonstop hitting, you're going full bore in practice, your body just is in a crazy mode where you're ready to absorb those hits. And Josh Jacobs, you could see that him missing training camp, the mentality too. We got to remember this game. We talk about Bo Jackson. Remember what was so said back in the 80s, man, was 85% mental, 15% physical. You got to have a strong mind. And so not only does he have the distraction with money, agent, remember the agent's in his ear, dude. That's the guy that does all the negotiating. And I personally think, I felt like he should have took that contract, man, when they offered it, because
I know he should have taken it and came to training camp at the beginning, and he would have had a career year.
And the thing is, if he takes that contract, because Dalvin Cook was your biggest indicator, he was your market indicator at that time. And when Dalvin Cook got cut by the Minnesota Vikings, I'm like, dude, the Raiders could just pick up Dalvin Cook and not even go with Jacobs. But, like I said, Jacobs is a fan favorite, man. Jacobs, we want him back in that 2019 mindset where he played with that separated shoulder, hit his injury, and like I said, this offseason is going to be very interesting, man, because, man, the best part of this is, I think, hopefully, like, we're going to always see the business side of things. There's always going to be that side. But like this offseason, I just hope it's so much more football focused and more of like getting these guys ready in the offseason, teammates formulating their own practices, their own workouts. So that way these coaches don't have to worry about getting fined. You just got everybody on the same page. And hey, man, on Sunday, we can celebrate in that locker room again, man. Watch these guys puff cigars, dude, and get pumped up for the next week, man, because I think this offseason is going to be so interesting, dude, this offseason. I mean, there's so many pieces just looking at the coaching staff. I know today's discussion is mainly about the offensive coordinator, but this coaching staff, it's going to be interesting how they put this whole thing together, man, because there's a lot of veterans involved, dude. And it looks like there's passion involved to fix the Raiders, dude, and get the Raiders into a winning back to our winning ways, man.
Well, and let's revisit two things I want to say real quick, and then a third one. Okay. One is the importance of what Antonio Pierce has said, because I think this is so important when we're looking at whether it's offensive coordinator, scheme, or quarterback, that he wants guys that, fits the Raider way. Okay. Correct. There's two players on this team that have a Raider tattoo, as far as I know, and that's Max Crosby and Josh Jacobs, right? And so Jacobs has loved this team. He stepped up and said stuff about this team. I've got some audio stuff I could play at some point, but even going back to, I think his rookie year, maybe it was his second year, we played the Jets and we lost. And the next week he was like, what I liked about the Raiders is that we didn't give up this week. So you have your running back stepping up and being the leader when it really should have been our quarterback saying that.
Yeah, right? I was going to say, because Carr looked like shit in that Jet. We got blown out in that Jets game.
I know, but just hear me out, bro. So, Jacobs has been the leader this whole time for all this shit when it should have been really someone else. But Jacobs has that kind of integrity. He bleeds silver and black. So that's key point one. Key point two is how when I think about Antonio Pierce and what he said, he wants to run the ball, right, and pound the rock, like almost more of an older school style, right? And here's the positivity to some degree. When we looked at the Cliff Kingsbury air raid offense, I'm not convinced when I look at scheme that Jacobs fits that scheme, to be real with you guys. Right. So when he was no longer a fit for the Raiders and we weren't going to do the Cliff Kingsbury thing, I know a lot of Raider fans were upset, but I exactly wasn't upset because I don't know that Cliff Kingsbury scheme fits Josh Jacobs. And if Antonio Pierce, if one of his deal breakers is, if I'm going to hire you, Mr. whoever the offensive coordinator is, you need to devise a game plan and tell me what your game plan is if we sign Josh Jacobs, if that's their plan, if that's what Antonio Pierce wants, because he says, Jacobs is the heart and soul of this team. And if that's true, and he's not just blowing smoke up our ass, which I don't think he's that kind of guy, Antonio Pierce. If I look at it from that standpoint, then it's like, Coach Antonio Pierce probably does want to figure out a way to try to make it work with, Josh Jacobs. And so if that meant getting rid of Cliff Kingsbury or not going that direction, because, Jacobs may not fit into that type of scheme, then you know what? I'm not exactly mad at it. I would rather have an offensive coordinator, if that is our game plan, right? To have a Josh Jacobs that can scheme to have a better fit and a better run game, which Getsy and the Packers, and you kind of go even his time with the Bears, it kind of looks like they value and he values running backs more than maybe a Cliff Kingsbury, So from that standpoint, like not only am I not exactly mad at the Cliff Kingsbury, being moving on, if I try to look at the running back scheme and whatnot, but I'm like, you know what, like maybe this offensive coordinator, if Hugh Jackson is like, helping him out, can scheme better to a skill set of a Josh Jacobs, where last year, let's be real, we completely fucking failed, guys. We did. You had running back in the NFL the year before, and then we struggled. But go ahead, Raider Dave.
One thing about Jacobs too, I have a question. This is for you guys. What you think, dude? Is like, did you think his passing game kind of like he struggles in the passing game? I think as a receiver, he's great at picking up block.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, he looked like he improved this year. Yeah, he looked like he improved in the passing. They got him involved more, but it just seemed like somehow it wasn't shaking out as like. Because I remember that was the thing coming out of college. Like maybe he might be a good receiving back coming out of the. He was underutilized because Najee Harris had the bulk of the carries over at Alabama, and so Josh Jacobs was that 21-year-old guy you want to draft, and he's NFL ready for the most part, and he showed it. But yeah, my thing was with them trying to get him involved in the passing game. I just want to know if your guys' thoughts if he improved in that, man, because like I said.
I think he's just improved everywhere since a rookie. I mean, look, you see.
I was just talking about like.
Right, yeah. No, I know what you're saying. I just want to make sure hardcore knows. Look, I don't think there's many other people that love him more than I do. But on that same token, I like to put my GM hat on and remove all of my emotion and feelings on players because of the way they play, and look at the budget and see how I can get better players and minimize the amount I have to pay for one player. And the reality is, with the amount of players you can get out of the draft every single year at the running back position, he's just not worth $12 million. You're hamstringing your own team because you love a guy. That's the part that, you know, I struggle with, because I don't even know if he honestly should even get 10 a year. That's being
I don't even think he's going to get 10 a year, bro. I don't think that's even going to be in this.
A lot of these guys barely get $4 million, man. Barely get $4 million a year, barely.
I don't think. That's what I was at. That's what I was saying earlier. Is because I think Austin Eckler, if anything, is going to set the market, and he might even be.
It ain't going to be 10.
Yeah.
It ain't going to be 10. I can promise you it won't be 10 in a year.
For Austin Eckler, and like with Austin Eckler, that's like a number one overall. That's your number one overall fantasy football pick, like of like the last couple of years. Like he's been in the top 3 for sure. So like the market's going to even disrespect him, you know, at how the running backs feel about the position. But we know this league is loaded with running backs, man, and it's been that way for the last 25 years. I mean, we saw our guys like Orlandis Gary become 1,000-yard rushers for the Broncos for like 15 years straight, and that guy's coming in and he's the running back for the Broncos for the next 5 seasons. So yeah, I agree 100%. Josh Jacobs, of course, is a fan favorite, but yeah, man, you know, like I said, I agree with you, man. I think you know, and cool, and we're not seeing running backs. I think Josh Jacobs is one of the few running backs drafted in the first round the last 5 years or so. Because a lot of running backs, I mean, the last one we saw go top 5 was Saquon Barkley, I believe. Oh, Bijan Robinson went top 10 last year, but he really didn't have that spectacular of a year as a rookie, like they really hyped him up to be. So
last year, so year before when he was the rushing leader, he had 400 yards receiving, which I thought was pretty good. Because if you looked at guys, a lot of people always want to compare McCaffrey with, you know, the running backs and Jacobs, but McCaffrey only had, I think, 600 and something yards receiving.
Yeah,
but
McCaffrey showed he could be 1,000-yard receiver though too.
McCaffrey's rushing yards weren't very great. I could pull it up, but you know, Jacobs like destroyed him on total rushing yards
everywhere.
And then I felt like with Jacobs, we started out the year pretty good with receiving, you know, catches and stuff with Jacobs, but then it fell off, and part of that was the injury and stuff like that. So you don't see a big increase on the receiving yards for Jacobs, you know, and then total rushing yards this last year for Jacobs was the 805 right here. So, you know, definitely took a dip if you combine the two. So to your guys' point, or a lot of people in the chat saying like here's where I'm at. Like, I think we can win a Super Bowl with Jacobs, but if I try to weigh all sides of the coin, is he worth that 10 to 12 million mark, right? If that's to say the range, you know, I like considering what we need. And if it is running back by committee, it's going to be hard for me as like a Raider fan, first of all. Second of all, if I put my GM hat on, like scheme wise, if Jacobs is worth 10 to 12 million, when that can be an offensive lineman, which that's kind of the next thing. Last thing I want to roll into real quick is the offensive lineman in free agency. So maybe we could transition, because I think this has to do with when we're looking at Jacobs, you know, we all know we could probably in Raider Nation, if we agree on one thing, we got to improve the offensive line. I would say most of us would probably agree that we got to figure something out at the offensive line. Now, whether we draft somebody in the first round, second round, we should still look at free agency for the offensive line. So I'm going to pull this up here real quick. And this is kind of the last topic I want to cover. I think the Jason Kelce is retired, so I don't know why they have him on here. But you have guys like Tyron Smith for left tackle. Maybe he could move to right, you know, and this is kind of freestyling it. But Andrus Pete, Dwayne Brown, Kevin Setzler. So these guys, you know, I'm just going to look at the numbers, right? So we'll just say between 10 and 14 or 15 million, right? So if we want like a stud right tackle, we're probably looking somewhere in the 10 to 15 realm range. If we think there's a free agency that's going to, you know, help this offensive line for right tackle. So if we go, say, offensive tackle, say that's first priority, 10 to 15 mil, and then Jacobs 10 to 12 mil. We have 36 mil available right now, subject to change. But if you look at it from that standpoint, if you go get a stud offensive tackle, I don't know if you're going to want to spend that 10 to 12 million on a running back, you know. And as a fan, I want Jacobs. As a general manager, I'm not sure it makes sense. So that's where I'm like personally conflicted. This is also why I want to get the OC figured out, the scheme, the quarterback, and I'll kind of like the Jacobs thing. But where do you guys stand right now? Would you want us to pull the trigger for our offensive lineman if we can get a stud or a good offensive lineman if it's like in the 10 to 15 mil mark?
As long as he's not old.
I like Thayer Mumford right now, man. I like Thayer Mumford, dude, right on the right. I like him, dude, and I think he's getting better and better, man. I think he's getting better, and so draft-wise, I'm all for drafting depth at the offensive line. We could get that free agent. If there's a free agent guard, then, like I said, it really depends on how they put this scheme together, man, with the new offensive coordinator as far as what they start, because they haven't had a press conference on it yet. So I want to hear what they have to say, once the Super Bowl is over. We're going to hear some Raider news that we need to hear and kind of what their plans are. But as far as offensive line goes, man, I'm more for building that in the draft and not getting any lucrative contracts this offseason.
What's your thoughts on Colton Miller? Because I'm not sold on him.
Colton Miller, man, I wasn't.
You bring up Thayer Mumford. I'm thinking yes, but I'm thinking maybe more so for the right side. He's great on the left side. But bottom line is we still need a tackle. I've already.
Yeah. Didn't Thayer Mumford step in? He stepped in for Colton Miller when he's hurt, right?
Yeah.
Good. So Thayer Mumford, man, I mean, he's just been an intrigue. Like I kind of like those picks, man, what we did, like the Dylan Parham and then getting Thayer Mumford later on in that 2022 draft. And watching those guys develop, get playing time, you just seeing them on the field tells us enough, But yeah, man, I think, I mean, Colton Miller wise, I did not like the pick, dude. I thought we got robbed in the draft. I thought we could have got a first-round pick out of Arizona if we're trading back 5 picks and they're trading up for a quarterback. I felt we could have strong-armed that. I have a strong opinion on that. I was doing a podcast. Oh, man, I took some hits in the comments on that. They're, you're not in the room, this and that. Dude, look, man, I know if a team's moving up for a quarterback and I hold the freaking pick that you want, guess what? You want a quarterback with that pick? And I got it. And I know you're going for a quarterback. Guess what? You're giving me a first-round pick. The following year, I have an option to draft Kyler Murray if I want or trade out of it. You know what I mean? But the point being is, I did not like that pick, but I do like how he developed. He's a big dude, man. He's 6'8". I like how he's filled up. I like how he's filled out because he looked kind of lean and lengthy, when he came in the league. But I think he's kind of like a humble dude. But I'm not like going to say that. I'm not going to say that like he's the most elite, but I definitely think Colton Miller is a top 6. Top 7.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, what is it that you don't? What is there something that you're saying that you don't like, or
he's lost too much time this year?
Yeah, true. I agree with that.
And the bottom line is you need next man up. And see, I'm thinking in terms of depth, but my depth is I want a starter. That's the second string. I don't want a starter. I don't want somebody that just can come in on our offensive line. Hence why I'm saying, we need somebody solid. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, Colton Miller is good, but I'm just not sold on him as being a Trent Williams or somebody. You can count on season for 17 games. I'm just not there with him yet.
I think I'll do this on Colton Miller. I'll just say, like, maybe if we're going to develop a young quarterback, he might be a good veteran to keep, because now he's like a veteran, kind of like he's been in the league. But, like I said, I mean, I'm with you. I'm not completely sold on Colton Miller, but, but he's a big part of our success at times, when when things are clicking on offense, he's a big part of it. But like you said, he missed time this year. What was his injury this year? I forgot. What was his shoulder injury? Okay. Yeah, so
I was just gonna say hardcore. You were thinking of a free agent as a lineman. Is that something you wanted to do, or is that something you were just thinking of?
Well,
based on what's out there.
It's tough because it's so like I look at some of these things, and it's not like I have all the answers figured out. Like I see a lot of like I try to look at like life and equations like. What came first, the chicken or the egg, right? Which, like, when I look at offensive scheme, quarterback, offensive coordinator, and then, scheme. So depends on our scheme. I'm glad we got rid of our offensive line coach. I thought he took a huge step back. I did not, whether it was the head coach McDaniels or whatever, I did not like how we went from a power scheme as far as the run game and offensive lineman blocking to a zone scheme. It helped us, like the other side of the coin, it helped us on passing downs, but it hurt us on running downs with a Josh Jacobs skill set, right? So to me, that aggravated me, okay? Now, as far as the draft versus, free agency, I almost feel like we should look at free agency and the draft. Okay. Now, whether it's offensive lineman you get in the first round or second round has to do with our quarterback, question mark. So like if I was the GM and I take off my fan hat and I'm the GM, we figure out, say that the offensive coordinator, the scheme, and then the question at quarterback. We got to figure out the quarterback situation before we figure out the offensive line situation. Because I feel like it's a lot harder to fill in the question mark at quarterback as opposed to offensive line. But let's say all three of those are taken care of. If we're going to stick with the Aiden O'Connell or more of a pocket passer / scrambler, you better have your offensive line dialed up 110%, right? Correct. If we're going to go mobile or / running style quarterback, then maybe you don't need the best offensive line, right? Because they're going to be able to scramble a little bit more, run pass option, or maybe roll outside. But that also falls into scheme. So it's a long-winded answer, but I would like for us to look into free agency. If we feel there's somebody, say right tackle or offensive guard, you move Parham to center, is kind of my take. You move on from Andre James, but you look in free agency for either offensive guard or right tackle. And if you don't find it at free agency, one of those two, preferably at least one, then you definitely need to be drafting an offensive lineman in the first or second round, depending on what you do at quarterback position. But because we said there's going to be quarterback needy teams probably in top 10, right? So let's say Penix Jr. and Bo Nix goes and, everybody says draft best available or whatever. So if I look at it from that standpoint, like I would be looking for an offensive lineman at pick 13. I really would.
100%.
No matter if we have Fields or O'Connell or whatever the game plan is, I don't
exactly.
Yeah. Yes. If Junior is the 5th ranked quarterback, let's say, and you pick at 13, it's a huge reach at 13 to get a quarterback at that spot. Now, if say a Bo Nix or Penix Jr. fell to you, maybe you pull the trigger on it, but most likely there's going to be some good offensive linemen at pick 13. So like I would be a fan of going offensive line, which ain't sexy in the first round. And then in the second round, you look to see who might be available for quarterback. And maybe you move up. I mean, if there's a quarterback you like, it might be a little bit of reach. Maybe you have to move up a few spots ahead of some other teams, depending who's on the board for quarterback. But I don't hate that option as long as we have the 3-headed monster figured out. OC, scheme, quarterback, right? I just want to know the game plan. And if we have the game plan, we move forward, right? Then I feel like the other pieces will fall in place if they do their due diligence and the right thing. But we've seen a lot of times where, even last year in the draft, let's be real. I mean, Dave Ziegler said we had a lot of guys on our board, but they went 1 or 2 picks ahead of us. Hence, Hendon Hooker went 2 picks ahead of us. And, and I don't even think Hendon Hooker would have been a scheme fit for Josh McDaniels. So, but we missed on some guys at times, I felt like in the draft last year. And I don't want to have that happen again, so, but go ahead, Raider Dave. What are you thinking, bro?
Yeah, man. Like one thing about our offensive line, this is a whole team thing, dude, in regard to, that the offensive line counts as this, dude, is we were one of the least penalized teams, dude. I kind of want to build off that too. I think there's, like I said, like some of our foundational pieces I do like. One guy, Greg Van Roten, dude. He played pretty well this year, man. I don't know. I think we gave him, was it a 1-year deal that we got him, like an offseason 1-year deal? So he might be a guy we might want to re-sign. Am I correct on that? I don't know if he's under contract or not. 1 year. I know we got him as a free agent out of Buffalo.
I think we do got to re-sign him. I mean, he's not a bad re-sign, but I mean, he's not getting.
Yeah, he's not the ultimate. Yeah, he's a piece.
Yeah, he's not that guy, if you will, if you ask me.
But I kind of liked how with Zamir White, how we were getting yardage and he was eating between the tackles, man. And so that was pretty good to see, dude. And I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting, like what Hardcore was saying. It's kind of like how they're going to implement this game plan, what kind of philosophy is going to come with it. What they're going to actually really, it's probably going to be a heavy run game. If they did keep Josh Jacobs, is Josh Jacobs committed to, as a running back, at age 26, 30 carries a game to keep the defense off the field, keep our defense fresh. Defense is looking good. We want to keep the defense as the main we want the defense. We want to keep Andy Reid up at night and Jim Harbaugh and Sean Payton. So we want our defense coming in this thing lit every game, man. And knowing like, hey, they got a good running game in place on offense, man. We're winning in the trenches, all this stuff. So yeah, man. Offensive line, I think there's going to be a lot of pieces, but the high priority free agents, I'm just not watching yet until like you see what these guys are, you know, when you start reading reports, what they're going to be demanding, you know, because agents wise and all that. And we always, I love that take. AOC MVP incoming, baby. I can't help it. I am a biased fan. I'm going to say that, you know, I'm going to give you guys delusional takes, but, you know, but I really am. It really am. I'm like I said, I'm being truthful, man. I really do like what I see in AOC, so I agree with that. I hope he's an MVP, man. I hope, and yeah, man. I love the conversation we had today about all this, man, because it's you know, like I said, it's something I was kind of venting when I was at the game. I was kind of like going up to people, tap on the shoulder, hey, you better support that quarterback. He's pretty good. And then not only that, I don't know if you were dealing with this in your section for Fan Appreciation Day, the last game, but I had to tell one dude he's yelling Harbaugh while we're all yelling AP for coach. And we had one dude yelling Harbaugh, and I go, and I just want to say this about Harbaugh and the rumors to Harbaugh. Where the fuck was the freaking actual links that Harbaugh was even considering being the Raiders coach? I just thought that was like, I was like, the whole time I'm reading that Harbaugh is going to be the Chargers coach, and it was like months in advance. And I'm like, why are people bringing up Harbaugh like he's just going to walk into Vegas and just fix everything? You know, I was like, no, I'm rolling with AP, man. I'm like, you know, so I was very animated this year, man. Very animated. And, you know, but yeah, man, I'm pumped, man. I like our offensive line, and I do see the points, man. Like Colton Miller, there's a concern there slightly. I see what you're saying. And, you know, yeah, I think it's, you know, I mean, sometimes getting the undervalued guys is the better route. Like I brought up Gregory Van Roten, dude. We got him later, like after the June 1st cuts, I believe. You know, he was a Buffalo cut, and we got him, and he was serviceable this year, man. Our running game didn't die; it was there. You know, we saw it pick up when went with Zamir White. You know, and so yeah. Yeah, man. My whole thing is dude. Are we gonna find another corner like Jack Jones? Are these guys gonna find a special corner, dude, in this draft, man? Because the Jack Jones find was just amazing to me.
Right.
I want to give a quick shout out to Raider Twan. He's one of the OGs, one of the homies in here. So I wanted to give him a shout out. We'll have to bring you on another time, Raider Twan. He's got a good football mind, like a lot of us in here, and you guys as well. But you know, with the Colton Miller thing, just kind of brought up, and this will be the last topic. I apologize. I know we've been long-winded. I appreciate you guys' time, because I know it's not easy to do a live stream, let alone for over 3 hours. But we talked about Colton Miller, and it just brought up my last thing. It kind of was a spur of the moment thing. You know, if we look at John Gruden and Colton Miller and Mike Mayock, a lot of us have critiqued some of the draft picks, and I thought, I'll be straight up with you guys, I thought Colton Miller was going to be a bust. I thought that was like going to be a terrible pick. Turned out to be a pretty good left tackle for us. You know what I mean? If I'm being just transparent. So, and then we look at this defense, and there was at least 6 difference makers that made a difference on this defense as either a starter or a difference maker, which I'm going to read here in a second. And my question is going to be, after I read these names on defense, and I know there's some on offense as well, but I want to focus a lot on the defense. Do you guys think that we should give John Gruden and Mike Mayock a little bit more respect as far as draft picks than we do? And the guys that, you know, Mayock and Gruden drafted, I know they're not first-round draft picks, but they're guys that turned out so far to be pretty damn good players, and that's linebacker Divine Diablo, defensive end Malcolm Kuntz, cornerback Trayvon Morig, cornerback Nate Hobbs, cornerback Amik Robertson, who's going to be a free agent this year, and, of course, the one and only Mad Max Crosby. You know, you have 11 guys on defense. You have 6 guys that were either a starter or difference maker on this defense, to a defense that ended up finishing top 6. And I know a lot of that is maybe development and the current coaches we have, but nevertheless, guys, I mean, I can't sit here and act like those guys weren't drafted by Mike Mayock and John Gruden. You don't have to agree with me, but I think all of us in Raider Nation should give the previous regime a little bit of respect for some of these guys that made a difference. But where do you stand on that, Ultimate Raider fan?
You know, I mean, one of the points, yeah, they had a lot of them, man. They had a lot of picks. And I think that's part of the problem. They had so many of them that you couldn't miss on all of them. So to that extent, you know, yes, you got to give them some props on hitting some home runs, but at the same time, give a lot of other GMs, you know, that amount of picks, and I think you come away with a better outcome. So, you know, I do understand how you're looking at it, because you're looking at those specific players, and you actually read off quite a few that are my fan favorites. Hobbs is actually my favorite corner that we have, period, point blank. I actually kicked it with his sister in VIP a couple of games. She was there. So I actually got a lot of info on him as well, but I've always just loved him. He was a dog. He ended up having to deal with a hand issue. Same thing for Mower. So that you don't play well as a corner or defensive back when your hand is casted up. That's just facts. You can't grab. I mean, that's number one. So, I mean, there's a lot of guys they pick. Max is obviously the number one in that whole thing, so you got to thank them for that. But again, with the amount of picks they did have and missed on, it's kind of tough to give them much more respect than what they've gotten from what they've done. I mean, and just real quick on the pick, right? When it comes to linemen, I don't care what we do, we need a lineman. Like, obviously, if we go up and get Daniels, we're clearly not getting a lineman that first pick. We're getting Daniels, right? But if we don't do that, the only reason I wouldn't go after Fasano is because the defensive tackle is still there from Illinois, but I highly doubt that. He'll probably be in the first 5, After the 3 quarterbacks go, that guy's going right after. If he's there, he's the only guy I'm picking over Fasano or even another offensive lineman if Fasano's not there. But yes, we need an offensive lineman, period, point blank, period. I don't care what style we have, whether it's a runner. I mean, and not to knock you when we don't need as good of as a line. No, we need the best line. We don't want to become the Bengals and ruin the best thing you ever had, which is Joe Burr, and just get him injured regardless of the type of player he is. So, yes, keep up that offensive line ASAP.
So, yeah, man, my take, man, I love the Reggie McKenzie hire in the very beginning. I thought Mark Davis, what are you going to do, dude? You're taking over as the new owner of the Raiders. I thought Reggie McKenzie, they consulted well in getting Reggie McKenzie in there. I liked what Reggie McKenzie brought to the table. Salary cap got fixed. We haven't had salary cap issues in the last 10 years, man. That's something maybe even longer than that, 13 years. Before that, we were in cap hell forever. We always reaching on contracts, overpaying players, you name it, and always in cap hell. But like John Gruden and Mike Mayock, I felt like that was a revolutionary move, dude, to get a guy from the NFL Network and have him like a guy that critiques teams, but he's telling you he's been inside all of the organizations. And he's telling you. So what those guys did, I'll just put it like this, and then they brought in guys that want to play football in the later rounds, but they missed horribly in the first round. Not Reggie McKenzie, so to say. I mean, I didn't like the what's his name from Ohio, Garyon Conley. I was so like that pick upset me, man. I was big on what's his name that's still playing in the NFL right now. Safety for the Giants, man. Damn, why am I forgetting his name? Played for Michigan. I forget his dang name, man. But then he went to the Patriots. I forget his dang name, but he was like a top 5 safety that year, and we took Garyon Conley. So anyway, that's all. I'm starting to ramble, but Gruden, man, was probably one of the more frustrating experiences in the first round, man. It seemed like Mayock was maybe getting those later rounds, and Gruden was strong-arming for those top picks, man. Like number 4 overall going Clelin Ferrell, man, that's a huge miss. Like the character of Clelin Ferrell, man. If anything, my highest grade for him was like maybe 27th in the first round, maybe somewhere later in the first round, going in the second round, if that. That was me thinking of Clelin Ferrell coming off a national championship game where they upset Alabama, shut them down in the second half, I believe. All that, so you had the late finds with Hunter Renfrow. I don't think we brought up Hunter Renfrow, so he was a late round find that became like a 100 catch guy. But hey, we're talking offensive line too today. Who did we miss? We missed horribly with Alex Leatherwood, and we don't get Christian Darrisaw when you know damn well that's the guard that was he guard or they moved him to tackle? I can't remember, but
it doesn't matter.
Virginia Tech guy, I remember. But yeah, dude, you can't miss on that and go with Alex Leatherwood, who's not even in. Alex Leatherwood was not even in my mock draft in 7 rounds. Trayvon Mullins, I did like that pick. I just saw that pop up in the comment. I did like Trayvon Mullen. But the thing is that with that miss though, dude, think about that. Christian Darrisaw could be an asset right now on this team if they don't miss. And gosh, man, Damon Arnett, horrible pick, dude. Like Damon Arnett's another guy, Ohio State cornerback. Did he? But he just didn't make it even in my mind. And I'm just a fan. I'm an internet GM guy. I joke around saying Dave, the internet GM. But my whole thing is like, dude, I did a live draft. We were with Murph and those guys in Mojo, and I was on a live stream with those guys, dude. They drafted Henry Ruggs, which I love that pick. I don't think they got that pick wrong. Unfortunately, the character issue that came out of there, we did not see that coming. We did not see Henry Ruggs making a decision. I didn't see that coming. And then, a few picks later, you get Damon Arnett. I'm like, dude, Damon Arnett was a huge miss. Jonathan Abrams, I just saw pop up in the comments. Jonathan Abrams, I kind of like that pick because he had the 40 time, he had the speed. It looked like he took the right angle, but like I said, man, we missed, dude, and those are the investments. Those are your 5th-year option players that you can't miss on that, because that 5th-year option is a huge deal when it comes to these rookie contracts. It buys you another year for evaluation or however you want to work that deal out with the player. But yeah, man, you just cannot miss. And like I said, as far as GMs go, I didn't mind Reggie McKenzie at all. I didn't mind Mike Mayock at all. I did not mind Dave Ziegler at all. I actually think Dave Ziegler might be an up-and-coming GM possibly in this league, man. There's something about I was kind of blown away with the reports that Josh McDaniels was running the show. I actually thought Dave Ziegler, was the guy making the moves in the offseason. So that's my bad for, bad outlook. But I was just taking, what they're saying as it's worth, like, hey, dude, Josh McDaniels is saying, hey, man, he's going to change his ways. And Dave Ziegler's going to be running the show. And like I said, I still think Dave Ziegler's somewhat of an up and coming GM, but now it's going to be, like I said, I'm kind of like, I'm a little different this offseason, man. I'm not pessimistic. I'm really optimistic. That's part of my character, man. I'm an optimistic Raider fan no matter what. Nobody knows what's going to happen in these games. If they did, they'd be making sports bet and winning every weekend. But then again, who knows with the way we see refs call games these days? I mean, there's a lot of questionable shit. Ref calls are a big momentum killer. So, yeah, man, I just say missing on Devin White, that was huge, dude. We've always needed a middle linebacker. But, yeah, man, I personally feel we've blown it in the first rounds, man, in the last 20 years for quite a long time, man. I mean, we missed out on going back to Al Davis, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, we've missed out on Hall of Fame. Like, I'll put it this way, dude, the last 25 years, I mean, we could all say this, I think. Dude, we all might have drafted a Hall of Fame team in the last 25 years with the way the Raiders have drafted.
Exactly.
We might. I know for a fact that I drafted a Hall of Fame team. I'll just say that. The players that I have, like my number 1 rated tight end last year, nobody was talking about was Sam Laporta. He's the best tight end in the league this year, dude. I'm pumped. It pumps me up, dude. Like I get pumped. That's why I'm pumped up for this offseason. I want to do mock drafts again. I haven't even dove into it, but yeah, man. Devin Witherspoon, like you're talking about Illinois. I love Devin Witherspoon last year. I like Nate Hobbs, but dude, right now, Jack Jones, man. I haven't used this word. I'm 45 years old, man. The word like there's words I don't use. Like amazing is a word I don't use. I don't use the word epic unless I see it as that.
Right.
Dude, Jack Jones is amazing. Jack Jones is sick in a good way. Like the old Jack Jones playing DB looks so freaking good. I'm not saying he's going to be an elite cornerback or a shutdown corner, but he's a playmaker, and that's what I like. He's a playmaker. Dude, so aside from everything that we've been talking about, just AP, man, the move to get Jack Jones, to cut Marcus Peters, who already had a pick six, who's known for pick sixes, had that pick six on Monday Night Football, but he wasn't tackling. Dude, AP cuts him, brings in Jack Jones. I got chills just talking about that, man. I love Jack Jones. I just love that find. I like his attitude. He seems like a dude, like when he's talking to the cameras and he's talking about the media, his eyes are like this because coach has his attention. He wants to play for coach, dude. And I just, like I said, man, that what I saw from that kid, and then going to that game and seeing him like go down midfield, dude, and literally play center field as a corner and get that tip ball, dude, and save a touchdown. It's just huge, man. But I'm with you. I love Nate Hobbs as well, man. But Jack Jones, dude, once we got him and he had that sick one-handed, like Ronald Curry, when Ronald Curry caught we're back in the day when we played the snow game in Denver, Ronald Curry had the Air Jordan one-handed catch in the back of the end zone. Jack Jones gets that, reads the play, and takes it. I love it, man. I love it. So, yeah. But draft pick-wise, yeah, man, it's good to steal a draft pick away because wasn't Jack Jones like a second-round pick for the New England Patriots?
I think something like that. But
he was a second round pick, I'm sorry, he was a 4th round pick. I'm sorry, he was a 4th round pick from the Patriots. So, and I think we got him under his rookie contract. So, hey man, there's a draft pick we got back right there. See you later, Damon Arnett. We got Jack Jones now, baby.
You guys had some great topics, man. I mean, we bounced around a lot, but I feel like we covered a lot of stuff. We had a lot of great guests. I want to say, wrap it up here and say thank you to, Grimcast Media, Raider Dave, the Ultimate Raider fan. I know we had a lot of people in the chat, so I want to say salute to all you guys. Where was it? Protect the Shield, dude. Appreciate you, man. I love you, bro. That's one of my homies.
CRS in the building.
Hey, bro, and I gotta say, shout out to you guys. Thank you for inviting me, man. I've been horrible, dude, at doing videos. I used to do 1 video a week. And I run into people all the time, dude. I talk to people, and I'm in Southern California out here, man. So it's busy. We're talking. I talk to people at a stoplight. I'm talking to a dude at a stoplight. We're talking. He's like, "What are you listening to?" I'm like, "I'm listening to I'm jamming to reggae over here." And he's over here. He's jamming to hip hop. He's a rapper. He's throwing me his YouTube handle. I'm like, "Yo, bro, I do a podcast." He's like, "Hey, dude, I gotta check it out." And I mean, that's how every day, man. I'm always passionate about the podcast I was doing, the content I was putting out. But like I said, it takes a lot of your time, man. And for me, what switched me up a little bit is equipment, man. I'm switching equipment, dude, like computers and stuff, and learning new languages with Apple. And I had the iPhone in 2009. I was never an Apple guy, but I'm like starting to go Apple computer, man. So just gonna change it up a little bit, try to clean it up. But like I said, I appreciate you guys, man. I probably was all over the place today because I'm rambling. I'm happy to talk Raider football. Everybody that was in the section that I was sitting in, I talked, it's funny. I just got funny stories from that damn stadium, dude. Being around all those Chiefs fans and them telling me, "Oh, how come you're so quiet now?" It's funny. I had a Chiefs fan do that late in the game. "How come you're so quiet now?" I said, "Because we're on offense, dipshit." Yeah. I'm like, what am I supposed to be loud for our offense, bro? It's like that's Oakland. See, that's why I love going to the Oakland games back in the day, dude. They used to have signs in the stadium like, "Shut the fuck up when we're on offense." Like seriously, like fans would tell you, like, "Shut up when we're on offense." Like, be quiet. Let the offense generate, And Rich Gannon used to come to the sidelines like, "Shut up if you're being loud when they're on offense." And be pumped up for the defense. Get loud for the, so it's just funny to correct those Chiefs fans that were amateur. It was amateur hour, It's like, got a lot of fair weather fans out there, bro. But it was a positive experience. Let me tell you something. Like, what do you do when a 3-year-old spills their drink on you? It's not like some drunk spilled their drink on you. So it's different times, dude. Going to a league. Hey, bring your family. It's safe. Bring your family. It's safe. Times have changed, folks. I've been to about 25 Raider Charger games. Those were rough. Times have changed, but it's good. I'm going to say it's good, man. I miss it. I miss the old school stadiums. And I'm going to say this. I just want to end it. So I'm rambling. But, dude, at an outdoor stadium, I could go like this. "Hey, you suck." And my voice would echo. And sometimes a player would hear it and turn around and go, "F," whatever. But inside of a stadium where they're pumping sound, boy, don't yell too loud, man. I ripped my voice up pretty good in that stadium, man. But I hope it was. I hope I had an effect out there being a diehard fan, dude. Being loud. Yeah, and being passionate, dude, and say it right then with the energy, dude. Like, it was good energy. Like, sometimes going up to the I could tell who's from LA too. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, we get rowdy, we get fucking pumped up, dude. And like, but yeah, man. So I'm gonna go to probably like 3 or 4 games this year. I know you're gonna go to all of them, man. But I'll try to link up with you, man. You guys do the tailgate?
We'll get together.
You guys do you go to the tailgate or do you go to like hotels?
Lot J, bro. J Lot.
Right on. Cool, man. Because that's the one thing I've not done.
Meet at Mandalay Bay, walk over the bridge, straight to J Lot.
Cool. So I'm starting to book rooms at Mandalay Bay now, and because I was a Caesars guy, and I literally just cut off all my stuff. I had free parking there. I've been going there for 25 years. I just cut everything off. I said, I love it, dude, because it's 2024. I call myself a free agent. So I told Mandalay Bay, I'm like, "Hey, I'm a free agent now. So hook me up, get me on your rewards list. I need good room rates." And like I said, this is optimism, but maybe Raider tickets will never go down. But man, I just see like, I don't know. I'm watching the Rams right now, dude. They're trying to peddle their season tickets big time right now, and they're discounting them right now. So I'm just curious if there's going to be a price reduction, because these stadiums have now been in place for 4 seasons and going in their 5th season. So I'm just wondering if price drops are going to come, man. Because like I said, my budget's like in that $200 range to go.
Nope.
I mean, I'm used to $30 tickets. My last game in Oakland, I got my ticket for like $70. It's like You know, so yeah, making that adjustment, man. But sorry, I got rambling. I get pumped up, dude. I love my team. And, you know, every year, man, I want to end it with this. Let me end it with this, though. This is important for us fans. And I said this last year, dude. We have to have the mentality of winning the AFC West. Tell a Chiefs fan, dude, that this shit ain't over, dude. And, like, you know, I don't know what's going to happen in a week, but I'm all about the Raiders winning the West, dude. And right now, for the 2024 season that hasn't started yet, I'm very optimistic we can go out there and take this division, dude. And even more so when how I saw this team perform their last 3 AFC West matchups, I'm optimistic, dude, that we can win the West. We just got to believe, man. Just got to believe. And we got to snap that, dude. We got to snap what's going on in KC, dude. They've won 8 straight AFC West titles, man. We can't have that. The Raiders need to win the West, man. And I stress on it so much. Not make the playoffs. I don't want to etch in the playoffs. I want to win the division title, host a playoff game, win, and, you know, next is the AFC conference game and then the Super Bowl, man, and a chance to win it all.
I agree. Cheers, everybody in the chat, man. We've been going for a hot minute here.
That's why I don't do live streams, dude. You know what? We know what happened on mine. I'd go 9 hours, dude.
Yeah, you know.
And then they're like, "Oh, it's like a tailgate, this and that." Next thing you know, I'm partying. I'm drunk in my house.
I want to give a quick shout out to the chat, and then we'll wrap this up. And
Raider Nation, cheers. I'll get back, I promise.
I'm gonna wrap it up and then tell everybody where they can find you, and I'll pass the mic back to you guys to close it out. But just want to say, Rick L, man, shout out to all you guys. Yeah, 9 hours, protect the shield. That's my dog right there, dude. I appreciate you, Chris. Much love, dude. I've been doing some lives with him. Big heck. I'm going to miss some guys. I'm going to try to hit as many people as I can here before I kind of give the conclusion of the podcast here. Robert Duvall, love you guys. Rick Al, SoCal, love the passion. Appreciate you as well, man. Snoops, D-Mokes, anybody I missed? Raider Pete, shout out to you, man. And not going to be able to go too far back up, but Cowtown Luda, and I know there's a bunch of other guys that I missed. But look, guys, man, if you guys don't know who I am and what we're about over here, when I started this channel, right, going back to like 2018 before the virus, you know, this channel was created with, you know, like me branching off from Raider Ben, but it was me, Raider Dave, Raider Critique, and Watts Raider was part of that as well. But our goal was to create unity for Raider Nation. It wasn't about money and you have to have a certain amount of subscribers or none of that jazz. It was about bringing on great Raider football minds, which I think a lot of us have, to where we could bring unity to Raider Nation. And I'm not always the best in unity, especially with the previous coach and some of the virus stuff and going down. But I just want to say, man, like, this was a special show to me, not just to have the OGs like that I started with that helped me out and grow, like Raider Dave, Grindcast Media, Raider Critique, Raider Ben. Make sure you guys subscribe to them. But our vision was to bring on a lot of different guys that have YouTube channels or, you know, have a good football mind, and we could just chop it up talking football. I feel like we covered a lot of different topics. We had a great chat in here. And, you know, so from Raider Critique, Raider Ben, I salute you guys. I appreciate you guys. Of course, Ultimate Raiders fan that came on here with us. I know you've been, you know, doing your own YouTube thing, rocking it, trying to grow your channel, and I'm looking forward to doing more stuff with you. And this is a lot of fun, guys. This is a lot of, like, the most fun I've had in a long. I didn't think I thought it was gonna be like an hour show, and then, you know, guys kept popping on. So we went.
Yeah, then you get me on, I fucking start rambling, bro. Sorry, my bad. Go Raiders, though. Go Raiders.
Yeah, we had a great show, and none of this. I never asked for anybody. Like, you know, if you subscribe, I appreciate it if you think we did a good job. But, you know, we ain't asking for super chats. We ain't drinking beer out of our boots. But we love the Raiders. We bleed silver and black. And at the end of the day, we know only one thing. Like, my name might be Hardcore Raider, but we're all hardcore Raider fans. I've always believed that. Like, yeah, I may have taken that name, but we all bleed silver and black. And at the end of the day, there's only one nation, and that's Raider Nation. So with that being said, much love to both of you and everybody else that has joined, and then as well as Al's Ghost. Can't forget Al's Ghost and Otis. But let them know where they can find you, and we look forward to maybe because I don't always have a chance to do group shows, but when we do, we brought the fucking fire, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this shit because it was late. You guys brought some great takes, man, and everybody on here. But Ultimate Raider fan, dude, much love, and let everybody know where they can find you. I'm going to drop your link in the chat. Make sure everybody subscribe to him as well as Raider Dave.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I appreciate you guys. This was awesome. As I always say, chat lives matter. Yep, shout out to my guy Anton Diaz. That's his. So, yeah, everything Ultimate Raider Fan 32. So, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, formerly known as X, is the Alt Raider Fan 32. Too many words. But, yeah, I'm out there with the biggest and best team on the planet. We call ourselves the Raiders Syndicate, and absolutely check us out.
I'm going to be definitely checking you out, brother, and I'll be checking out all your handles on Twitter, too. So I'm Raider Dave. Started a channel in 2017. It's called Grindcast Media. I apologize, Raider Nation. I've been all over the place. I've changed the name of my podcast like 3 different times. It started out as a Grimy Nation, but I didn't want to disrespect, because back in the day, it was like only one nation, Raider Nation, but I'm the Grimy Raider. I go back to remember the Sega Dreamcast, dude? I was online gaming on dial-up back in the day with the Grimy Raider tag, so that's my old school tag. I've always rolled with it. Was the North County Raiders fan club way back in the day, man. You know, when the Raiders were winning the West, man, and that was the title I had. So the Grimy Raider, and then jumped on YouTube here, man. Passionate about talking football. You know, it got a little I got a little worn out in the chats. You know, debating a Khalil Mack trade, or debating, if Carr's a good quarterback or not. But I always love a good debate, man, because everybody always has good takes. One thing, man, we just always stick together, stay strong, and let's let these opposing fans know who's going to win the West next year. That's going to be the Las Vegas Raiders. Forgive me, I still adjust to the Las Vegas Raiders. I always have to take a pause, man. And, but yeah, man, I'm pumped for the offseason, dude. I'm pumped for the future. I'm pumped for AP, dude, getting this shot as the new Raiders head coach. And check me out, man. Grindcast Media. I owe it to you guys, Raider Nation. I need to put some content out. But once again, I will say this, I shouldn't, but I did have a couple little health issues. I'm getting older. I'm in my mid 40s now, and dude, like some things kind of, your body changes, man. So I'm going to make some better choices for my health this year. And, I plan on being back on here and chopping up some good topics, man. And like I said, it was a blessing to be here and meet you as well. Ultimate Raider fan. Thanks again, Hardcore, man. It's been great. I'm glad it was a blast, man. It's always good to get on here. It's a good energy, man, and get us pumped up. Because, yeah, like I said, I don't know if I still don't know if I can turn on the TV next Sunday and watch the damn Super Bowl, bro. That might be my first Super Bowl that I miss.
I know, right?
We'll definitely have to do the group show again, guys. And again, the motivation when we started this channel, because it was a group effort, even though it was under my name, but was to create unity. I can't always do that because there's some guys out there now in the Raider Nation that are about different things. They about that dollar more than they are about the silver and black. But anybody that bleeds silver and black, that's about like kind of what we're about, team building and stuff, man. I'm all for it, dude. It's all that love. So much love to all you guys as well as the chat. And you know what? There's only one nation. That's Raider Nation. We close it out AP style. Can we get a Raiders chant on 3? You guys ready? Let's do AP style, right? 1, 2, 3. Raiders! Appreciate you guys.
You're going down, KC. Next year, you're going down. You're going down in the 2024 season, baby.